https://discord.gg/flat-earth. Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Chi Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
Enemy spotted.
24/7 Go Globe Evidence Fishing Part 12.
You know that for sure?
Yes. It's 6 feet, actually.
Well, it's not 6 feet, is it, Crit?
Yeah, later on, they gave the 1 foot just to make the math easy. Because a lot of globalists were having a hard time with the 6 foot.
That's it's not 6 foot. That picture there, he took a bunch of them. That particular one is 1 foot.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, this one. Okay,
he's taking a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, you can watch him.
So you guys are just ignoring. So basically, you're just saying that because the platform is 9 miles away, that the horizon is what? How many miles it's supposed? So how many miles do you think the horizon is?
I don't know exactly.
Based on the geometric horizon, like how far away?
I would say that based on what we're seeing in that picture, it's further than 9.4 miles. Right, so
max distance geometric horizon.
Yeah, so if the horizon was like
2 miles.
If the horizon was like the furthest edge of the curve that you see, like you were talking about, where it starts to block ships and whatnot, that would have been at 1.2 miles.
These questions. Well, that's just we're just looking. I mean, you're looking at the apparent horizon, like the geometric horizon is
that's
just
what
like
the horizon
the distance
is.
From the horizon to the observer. But like,
so we don't.
That doesn't mean that's gonna like. The apparent horizon is exactly the same.
So we don't see the geometric horizon.
Well, no, that's a number. It's not like a perception.
If we don't see the geometric horizon, then we don't see it blocking ships as they go away, do we?
What? I mean, you can see that the oil rigs are farther away. I mean, like all these numbers don't mean anything. Like, I'm sorry that like you think this is more convincing than you think it is.
So the radius doesn't mean anything at all?
I mean, you guys are just throwing numbers into like an apparent into one picture.
That's not our numbers.
Another one down.
And then like doing the math, like I mean, because it's bye ball. Like, what do you mean that? Yeah. Like, how does this picture prove?
Yeah,
that
the words are kind of freaking them out. Sometimes I like to do Black Swan without the words in it.
Just because you think that. See, this is still just like really bad because like the horizon, like it's like a blurry picture.
Are you denying?
We'll just have to crop a whole new one and just show people where the horizon is, and then he'll say, "Oh, it's behind the oil rigs," and he won't think about it. Then we'll bring that out.
No, we can be fine. I mean, again, this is like
the words freak you out, dude. It's supposed to be.
This doesn't prove anything.
Bye ball.
You're clearly freaking out, man.
It's not 1.225 miles away.
Yeah, it's super simple.
Geometric horizon,
further than 1.2.
Observer height.
It's further than 9.4, therefore further than 1.2, therefore not geometric, not an Earth curve bulge that blocks things physically. It's super simple.
Or it's a bigger ball. See, the one time people get mixed up is this doesn't necessarily debunk the Earth as a sphere. It debunks 3959. And Mr. Sensible said so himself. He said, with this photo, the best thing you've done is debunk the radius of Earth. It's much larger than we thought.
Is Earth?
If that's true, then the radius is 6 times the size they say Jupiter's is.
Oh yeah, that's the next problem they have.
Oh, so we're like the biggest planet then now.
Or they're all massively bigger than they said.
Hold on, I'm still calculating what's going on here. I'm trying to see.
Basically, they're saying at 1.2 miles.
No. Why you guys
Jupiter
is proof. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me go over it with you guys one more time. So, because you think that, do you think this max distance?
You don't need to reword it.
Mean?
Just read it word for word.
So it says max distance geometric horizon sphere equals 1.22 miles. Like, that's a really bad equation. Like, what is the maximum distance geometric horizon sphere?
At 1.22 miles, the ship should disappear according to the geometric horizon equation, correct?
Yes, Schmacko's got it.
What? But the geometric horizon changes based on how high, like the height you are from the.
So they're saying surface. The height is 1 foot in this photo.
So they're assuming that the height is one. Like, how do they know? Like, how do we know?
The question is the accuracy of the image. Correct. Yes.
The observer height equals 1 foot. Like, so is the person on the ground? Are they laying down? The person is laying down on like the water.
You need to hear it from Schmacko, I think, because he seems to understand what we're saying, and I don't think you want to understand it from us.
No, I do. I do want to understand
the accuracy of this photo.
So who hears the flat earther and who hears the round earther?
Okay,
there we go.
You can wait your turn.
Okay,
you're talking. Don't butt in like that.
Yeah, just relax. You'll get a chance to talk.
So basically, according to this photo, if the numbers are accurate, then both those rigs should have disappeared. Yes, I agree with that completely. What Talon is discussing is whether or not discussing is the accuracy of this photo. So that's a good point. So if we see the accuracy of this photo, it'll even also strengthen the point of you guys have demonstrated.
That wasn't quite it, though. It's not about the rigs disappearing per se, because they're really big. It's about the horizon being further than it should be geometrically.
Got you. Yeah, so the geometric horizon should have been at the 1.2 mile, and it's beyond 9.4 miles, according to this image, right?
Should have been at 1.2, yeah.
Correct, yes. Okay. Now it's just literally it's just a matter of showing do you have a source for this photo? Because it's very hard for us to just take it at face value, obviously.
Yes, I understand that. That's fair. Somebody can post the original video for sure.
What's the name of the channel? BLSM or something? Forgot his name. The YouTube name.
Yeah, or you could just Google on the other server videos Black Swan, and it'll be posted like 1,000 times. Actually, it's Black Swan 3 in the bot.
So far, the only evidence of the Black Swan photo I can find is from Answers in Genesis. The creationist guy is talking about it. He's got your picture.
He's trying to refute it.
Yeah, a lot of biblical people are kind of worked up by flat Earth because especially if they're Americans, because they believe that when they say "Make America Great Again," they're talking about the space race, Nixonian era space race. So when they hear flat earthers say Nixon faked that shit, they're hearing basically that America was not great when they thought America was great.
Okay, I have a good question about. So I think I can kind of see what I was trying to look for. So if you look at the on the one on the right, the 6.2 mile platform, like let's just ignore all the numbers for now and look at the platforms themselves. So if you look at the very bottom of the platform, you see like a bunch of girdings. You can count like all the posts. You see how there's like a catwalk like just above the surface on the 6.21 mile platform. And so like you can also see some of the like the pylons and that also I want you guys to really focus on that one platform. Okay. Everybody can see. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? So if you look
distance of where they're at, the distance they're basically mile markers, distance markers.
Okay, so
what they look like,
don't look at the markers. Just look at the catwalk. Just look at the catwalk.
You can blot out the whole thing and just put a mile marker there. There's the only reason why they're there.
So there's a catwalk.
I found one. I found one refute.
Can I finish? I would really love to finish a point. Like I literally have always been interrupted multiple fucking times, and it's really fucking.
Yeah, you don't need to really worry about what they look like.
Like when you look at because you can see if you count the amount of platforms below each oil rig, you'll see that the one that's 9.4 miles away, the catwalk is in the water. And so that's because the Earth is curved. So the platform that's further away, you can't see the catwalk that's at the bottom of the underneath the actual rig, but you can see the catwalk about however many feet it is above the water. So unless the Earth is flat and the catwalk is in, so like and so that shows you the curve in the picture that like the one that's closer is higher up on the curve. Because it's these things are huge fucking rigs, and so you can see them for a lot longer in the horizon than the horizon itself. And so like there's even that blurry part is an optical illusion. So the horizon has like optical illusion, so you can think like you can see like boat. There's different like phenomenon where like boats will float in the sky because the way that the light refracts off the curvature of the Earth. And the horizon acts in weird ways because of the way it works. And so, yeah, like you can really just see the curvature of the Earth in the picture if you just ignore all the random numbers that they put on there and then the fake equations. But I got to go. I'll really enjoy talking with you guys.
The fake equations.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, ball.
So he throws away the radius, basically. Okay.
Yeah, it does. The Earth does no longer have the radius.
He kept saying,
was just a question.
He kept saying in that picture we actually see the curvature. What? The curvature that would have yielded the 1.2 mile horizon that we don't see? All right, whatever you need to do to sleep.
Exactly. I'm just so sick of those niggas always yapping about their globe Earth and spherical Earth.
So
you got a good mic, but if you could keep out the the N word, thank you.
Oh yeah, yes sir. I'm sorry. It just gets me worked up sometimes.
It's such a troll.
So shit went kind of sideways there. Sorry for putting you on blast there, Schmacko. I don't know who came in hot there, but that's why I responded like that.
What did I miss? Here. I left the room, and then all of a sudden I hear you saying he left.
Oh yeah, he left.
King's all right. King was here yesterday when that M was trying to freak out, and King was like, "Yeah, dude, M's like some derogatory terms for women. Dude, take it easy on this. I mean, like, geez, take your drama, like elsewhere." And all of a sudden she starts talking. I'm like, "Holy shit, King! You kind of she proved you right, like wow." It's like you think like people sometimes say things that they regret or whatever, and they sometimes get out of place and get carried away. But the next thing you want to do is not prove someone's point about you. And yeah, basically I should have given you more charity. I thought you were picking on this gal, and not at all.
Yes, sir.
Well, they come in sometimes in packs, being really snide and condescending and stuff, and they're here to mock and hurl insults, and so when that happens, usually I get kind of pissed off. So
I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna quick shower.
Oh, look who's back. Speak of the devil. Hello, Emmy.
Am I free now?
For now, we'll see how you behave this time, but we'll see.
What's the conversation been like so far?
Not about unicorns or mermaids, that's for sure.
Oh. What was the debate? It seems kind of silent in here right now.
Just a small break. We just had a discussion with another guy who left, throwing away the globe model radius, denying it.
Because apparently, if things on the distance refract, then that means the curve of the Earth can refract up over the curve of the Earth and show you the curve of the Earth further than the curve of the Earth if the Earth is curved. I was like, yep, sounds like you are in a cognitive dissonance event. He's like, I sure am. Bye. Okay.
Can you read me the definition of refraction?
Well, I mean, there's different types, but it generally just means distortion, with light.
That's a Glover thing anyway. That's something they like to use.
Yeah. It's basically like if the example I like to use is when I used to go carp hunting. I live in northern Minnesota, and I have a carp bow that would shoot into the water. And what you would do is you'd want to line up. You have a special boat that you stand up in, and you'd have the sun line over your right shoulder, and then the carp, you'd aim at it and then drop down about 2 inches.
So how does a rainbow exist if refraction isn't real and it's just a theory globe is made up?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I would say
air pressure,
a rainbow.
I'm kind of directing it at air pressure because you said refraction is just the thing that globers like to use, but then how do rainbows exist?
What I use rainbows for is that people look up at the sky and be like, wow, the moon is a physical object rotating around my head. I'm like, well, what about a rainbow? Is that physical too? And they're like, certainly. But it has an apparent location, though, right? It kind of moves depending on perspective and whatnot. How do you know the moon isn't the same as that?
Damn, Nicola.
Well, like,
that's
you know,
kill for Ukraine.
So you assume that the moon is just like refraction, that is just made up. That is
or
like
some sort of light in the sky that I can't really adjudicate. I've never been there. So I don't know for sure what it is, but I can compare it to other things like rainbows, like other lights in the sky, and know that a rainbow is a physical thing, but it also is a parent location, and it will move along with you and kind of like stay roughly in the same spot. Like the whole joke about when you were kids and you'd be like, your parents would tell you, hey, go find the start of the rainbow. There's a pot of gold there for a leprechaun will be there with a pot of gold. And you'd ride all day. You'd be riding, and it just never moved. Because
but how is it possible for the moon to be refraction when refraction needs the sun?
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Well, the sun needs to be present for refraction to happen, right? It bends light. So how is the moon refraction? If the sun's nowhere to be seen.
That.
I mean, I don't think I'm confusing right now.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's a pretty simple question. Just answer it.
Like, so if refraction moon, needs light, if refraction needs light from the sun,
which is
and the sun isn't present when we're seeing the moon, how is the moon refraction?
There you go. Follow that. Think about it.
Huh?
It's not my idea. That's your idea.
Oh my god. You literally.
Your idea is if moon, therefore if sun, therefore moon. Follow it.
What?
How about this?
You look said to me that you think that the moon might be refraction, but refraction is literally
no. I said
when the light from the sun
is what? What is the moon? What did I call it?
Huh?
What did I call the moon? I called it. You
literally said that it could be refraction.
No, I said it's just a light in the sky that I don't know what it is.
It doesn't emit light, though.
Really, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It
there's no light
reflects
coming.
light. It doesn't emit light.
Oh, that'd be the same thing, wouldn't it? Though.
No. The moon reflects the light.
The moon reflects the light from the sun.
Right.
Here's where they confuse claim with evidence again.
Yeah. Even if I say the moon's emitting its own light, that would still fit your idea. You just say it's emitting its own light because it's reflected. So if you tell me no, if I say, hey, it looks like it's emitting its own light, and you say, no, it's not, I go, well, what is it doing then? It's reflecting light. So it's emitting light by reflection. You're like, well, yeah. So why did you say no?
The
and
word,
yeah.
The
why
problem is your language.
You're broken.
Okay, so I genuinely have a question, right? Against this like whole theory as a whole, right? So if you are claiming to make up a theory that the Earth is flat, why isn't there being experiments? Why isn't anything being tested? Why don't you continue to stick by a model right now?
What are you talking about?
You think that the Earth is flat?
We've shown you
we do that all day long.
What do you mean?
No. Saying that science isn't real isn't experiments to prove that the Earth is flat.
Who said
Nobody
that?
said that.
You
citation.
with scientific explanations
we
every
the
single
flaws
day.
in your logic when you claim science when it's not.
You're not gonna like straw man and lie about us in here. Like provide any quotation of anybody here saying science isn't real.
I mean,
you'll never find it. You'll never find it.
I don't think.
Well,
a
person
science.
said that the moon is just refraction, and scientifically, that's not what science says.
He didn't
science
even say
says
that.
it is a
He
physical.
did say that though. He said it could be. I asked him, "Do you think the moon's refraction?" Then, and he said, "Yeah, it could be."
He said the moon could be just like a rainbow.
So number one, the moon cannot.
Shut up, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
nobody said
you guys aren't listening.
So are you going to listen to what he said? He said the moon, okay, rainbows could be refraction or whatever you said. He said the moon also, that's up in the sky too. Is that, how did you relate the two together?
I asked him a simple question. So do you think the moon is refraction? And he said, yeah, possibly. But how can the moon be refraction?
It doesn't sound like he thinks it is. He just said could be.
Why do you mute?
So is anyone
Because
gonna...
they do that.
What? Codal, why was Blackworth muted?
Yep. Yeah, because they do that. We're in the middle of a conversation, and they jump
You're
into
not
concern
allowed
troll.
to mute a moderator, mate. You can't mute a moderator.
Who said that?
You're not allowed. He's a senior mod.
Let's
You can't
see. He's on mute now. Okay, no problem. Good to go.
He can unmute himself if he needs to be, but like I said, we try to have a coherent conversation. If someone else butts in, they have to wait their turn. So we
The mods told me I can mute anybody I want. So whoever this guy is, you're on mute now.
We just turn it over. If a mod wants to out-mod this room, we'll just step down, let that mod take control, and then we'll be like, hey, this is what's going on right now.
Okay,
So that's why we mute
the
people, though, because we're in the middle of a discussion, and then one of you guys comes in and says, why'd you mute him? Like about some past discussion that happened 3 hours ago, completely derailing the current conversation.
Can we go back to
That's why you guys get muted. Yeah, I agree with you this time. Let's get back to it.
So back to what I was saying, I want to ask Crit why he said to me that he thinks the moon is refraction. Like, what is the explanation behind that?
What did I tell you last
How can the moon
time?
possibly be refraction?
What did I say last time?
Huh? No, I'm asking you to explain again because the first time you explained didn't make any sense.
Okay, use that. That is a testable claim. What I said didn't make any sense.
Yes, so I'm asking you to explain again.
And the answer is what I said didn't make any sense. So right there, you've adjudicated that I didn't answer, and you've adjudicated my answer didn't make any sense.
No.
Don't interrupt
Stop
me.
going through a
Hey,
schizophrenic episode. I'm
yeah,
asking you.
That's a third thing.
I'm
so number
asking
one,
you
yeah,
if you
you're
can
asking
repeat
me.
your explanation so I can
Yep,
understand
because
better.
you said my explanation was A, no explanation, B, didn't make sense explanation, and C, a schizophrenic explanation. So this is an issue
No,
you
you are
have to work
making
through.
this up in your head. I'm literally all I asked is if you could re-explain your explanation.
Yes, because you said
Why can't you just re-explain your explanation, dude? Just
my
re-explain it.
explanation is A, no explanation. You didn't receive an explanation. And B,
No, I said I didn't fully understand your explanation.
Okay, that's 4. That's D now.
The
That's
conversation
D.
isn't going anywhere.
You didn't understand it, and you understood it as schizophrenic. You also understood it as not an answer, and the answer was nonsense. See, this is what happens when you spurg out. You didn't follow your own worldview, and you came up with a very illogical and deeply contradictory event and understanding on your point of view.
Okay,
you could re-explain your explanation on how you think the moon is refraction. Just
so
answer it.
which one is it? Did I explain it or not?
But can you just re-explain it? Give me another explanation.
Yeah, let's go down the path. Logical gate. One
Give me the explanation, dude. Just give it.
Was it given to you already?
Oh my god. Yes, that's why I'm asking you to re-explain it.
Okay,
if it
so
wasn't
it was
to me, I
given
wouldn't
to
be
you.
asking you to re-explain it.
And was this explanation schizophrenic?
No, he can't explain that. He is not able.
And
He's
I'm
not
not
able to
able.
answer your
That
question,
is a
and-
testable claim. If I'm not able, you can test that. You would test that by not asking. Because if you think I'm not able, you wouldn't ask. See, I'm not in here to suffer a
Crit,
fool.
I have a question
I'm not
for you.
St. Peter. I don't suffer fools like St. Peter does. I give you one chance to get it right, and then listen to your feedback. If you got some sort of good faith response that you're understanding something, or something went on that, hey, I need clarification on this, or some understanding on that. But if you give me a bunch of weird metagaming bullshit and you want to play a game with me, I'll just follow
I'm not
your
playing a game.
worldview
I'm
and
asking you a
defeat you
question to
inside your own
re-explain.
worldview.
Why can't you just re-explain?
I did explain. Or I didn't. Which
What?
one?
Just answer my
Inside your
question. Right,
worldview.
no. Listen, right? Listen to these exact words. How do you think the moon is refraction? Go. Answer it.
What was answered last time?
Oh my god.
That's why I'm asking you to re-explain because I didn't
Okay,
understand.
what is your current understanding right now?
That's why I'm asking you. I do not have an understanding because I want you to re-explain.
Okay, so how did you say that
Do I
your
need to pull up the
understanding was
definition of
schizophrenic?
re-explain? Do I really need to pull up the definition of explaining to you? Because this is literally what this is right now. You do not understand the definition of explaining or answering a
Why
question.
are you being dense?
That
Saying
is
because
a
of the way
testable
in which
claim.
you engaged with it the first
I
time.
don't even know
I asked him calmly,
what the
and he's been
definition
going
of
on a monologue. He's been monologuing this whole time, avoiding my question.
There's another
I
one.
thought
You
my
ask a
question
question and interrupt me as I'm answering.
Oh, you're not answering it though. You're going on a tangent about
And
how
I'm not answering. That's the best part. I
Oh.
don't know. So now, inside your worldview, I don't know what the definition of explanation is, and I can't explain, and my explanation was
When
given to
have
you.
I ever said any of that? All I'm asking is if you to re-explain it.
Yeah,
This is
and
all
you
I'm
just said I don't know the definition of explanation. You have to link it to me.
No, I said I do not understand your definition of it. That's why I'm asking you to re-explain.
Okay, what was explained the first time?
Oh my god, we're going around in circles. I do not know because I did not understand.
Okay, so you didn't understand it. So how did you say it was a schizophrenic answer?
I would
What
give
you
That's
talking
why
about?
she's asking you to re-explain it. So just
No, but
give her
if
a
she
new
understood
answer,
it,
a new
how
question.
did you not understand it? This is the best
Okay,
part.
okay.
If
Let
you
me ask
didn't
you. Okay,
You're beating
if you
around the
okay.
didn't
What is the
understand it,
moon? What is the moon to you, Chris?
if you didn't understand it the first time, but you also understood it the first time
direct it to a
as
different
schizophrenic,
This isn't going anywhere.
Just move on to the
What do you
next.
think the moon
next one.
is then?
Yeah,
You have
what's
another
the
question?
moon? What is the moon?
Move to the next question then.
Yeah, that is my next question. And what do you
yeah,
think
there it
the
is.
moon is?
We don't think here. We don't speculate.
Yeah, I just said a light in the sky.
A light in the sky. Okay.
What makes you believe that?
But what would be the scientific, what would be the science behind it? In like
Observation. You observe it
lights
as a
up.
light in the sky. It's a light in the sky.
It lights up.
Yeah.
Right.
You can do the same thing. You can make the observation too. We both would point up. Is that a light in the sky? I observe that as a light in the sky. Do you observe that as a light in the sky?
Crit, I have a question.
If
I have
I
a
look
question.
close enough to like a scope or my phone camera actually, because iPhones can now do this, you can zoom in and it does not look like a light anymore. It looks like the moon on how every.
Oh, it's not a light now. Well, we've parted ways because I'd say that's a light in the sky. You
If
tell
you
me
let
it's
me
not a
finish
light in the
before you
sky.
cut me off, you literally mute people for cutting off. So let me finish.
Who have I muted?
What I was saying is if we now have literally iPhones that can do this, you can go on an iPhone if you own one, zoom in, right, turn like any brightness setting down, and zoom in, take a picture of the moon, and it will look like the moon as NASA has showed us. It would look like the moon has, as any globe has proved the moon to be. Like you can literally just zoom in and take a photo of it. That's all you need to do, and it does not look like a light in that.
You don't just have to do. You don't have to do that. Even you can look at the moon with your bare eyes and see it's got craters and stuff on it, right? The second thing is when you say it's a light in the sky. Now you don't have to look into the cosmos to know that light has to be emitted from something, right? And if you have no understanding of where that light's coming from on the moon, then you're providing less information, right? Look, if you look at the moon, you know it's either emitting light or reflecting light. It's doing one of the two things, right? If you can explain to me how the moon would be emitting its light, then by all means. But it seems to be more likely the case that it's reflecting light from somewhere else, i.e., the sun, right? That seems to be quite obvious.
So which one is a reflection of light that I posted? I took those pictures about 10 seconds apart.
What do you mean reflection? What do you mean reflection of light?
Look in the VC chat.
But by the way, this isn't like a flat earther would be happy to admit that the moon reflects light from the sun. I don't know why this has to be an objection.
We don't claim that.
No, I think.
Well, listen.
No.
If that's the case, could you just
I didn't
find
say
us
you claim
one-
otherwise. I'm saying you
Listen.
should. It's not what you're going to have. What you're going to have an issue with isn't that the moon reflects light. What you're going to have an issue with is that some of the moon doesn't. Right, as is posted. Right, some of the moon is obviously not able to emit the light that
because it's reflecting the light
yeah, because
from
it's
the
reflecting the
sky
light,
that's
right?
facing the
If
sun.
that's the case, that any flat earther will be okay with this proposition that the moon reflects the sun, then can you just find us any who has said that?
Wait, well, I'm saying they should be okay with it, right? There should be no. It doesn't dismiss flat Earth to say that the moon reflects light, right?
You're
What
right.
about
It doesn't.
this? There's two words here: flat and earth. Which word do you understand as moon?
The issue with the flat Earth and the moon's lighting will probably be more to do with the idea that, look, if the way that you're going to draw the cosmos around a flat Earth would make it that it'd make no sense to have half the moon not emitting light, right? The whole moon should be clearly able to be visible, right? Completely, or not at all, right?
Okay, so which one is it, flat or earth? Which word do you know is talking about the moon?
What?
Well, the moon revolves around said flat Earth, so that would have an effect on the moon, right? Like we would be able to observe the flatness of our Earth and the sun going around it in our moon, where let's say the Earth is completely flat and the moon didn't sink below the Earth. Then yeah, every time it came up, it would be basically black if the sun was on the other side of the planet. If you thought it went in a sort of like the sun goes under the Earth and comes back up again, right? And so does the moon.
Okay, so
would
flat.
never have any light to
Which
it.
word?
The sun would
Flat
be on
or
the opposite
earth?
side of the.
Which one is talking about the moon? Flat or earth? Which word?
Well, within your theory, you'd have to come up with some kind of explanation for the moon, right? Because you
No,
see
how
the
about
moon
this?
either way.
I can tell you this: you could take out the sky completely, and it won't change the surface of the Earth at all.
Okay,
Matter of
Chris,
fact, I call up and down.
I think this is
are
a
two
pathetic.
separate things.
Look, I could make a better argument for flat Earth than what you're doing right now. You're just memeing, I'm
Okay,
sure.
yeah, sure, you could do that if you want to.
Because in what world is this an argument to say? Well, if I talk about the shape of the Earth, then everything else in the cosmos doesn't matter. No, it is directly related. If the Earth is flat, that will have an impact on how we observe things in the cosmos, like the moon.
It doesn't,
right?
though. The Earth is already flat, and everything is still there.
Okay, well, this is where our objection is, right? This is what M is trying to tell you. That
no, she doesn't say that.
Look, if you look into the
Citation.
sky, no, M's trying to articulate this idea that if you look up into the sky and you see, okay, like the moon, right? Now, obviously, in your mind, you're going to have some sort of structure about the cosmos, especially with a flat Earth, and we're going to have to take into consideration that we have a flat Earth for why we observe things in the sky, right? So if I say to you, well, the Earth is round, and the reason why you only see half the moon is because half the moon is reflecting the sun, the other half can't, so far behind the sun it can't reflect light. Then it seems to make sense of why the moon is half bright and half not, right? And then if you say to me, well, actually, the Earth is flat, and what happens when it's nighttime is the moon comes up from beneath the Earth, right? And so now you have just the moon in the sky, but nothing to reflect light from, right? Or unless you think the moon emits light, that's the only other way you could go forward with that. Oh,
here we go. You call that astronomy, right?
So, Crit, no. The point is that I'm trying to ask you, like, where? Okay.
Yeah, here's a point I'm making.
Does the moon and the sun exist in the sky at the same time all the time?
This is the point I'm making. Using the study of the sky is called astronomy. The study of everything in the universe beyond Earth's atmosphere. This includes objects we can see with our naked eye, like the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that you're looking up into the sky and studying objects beyond Earth's atmosphere, and you're studying Earth at the same time, my question would be, what planet are you from? Are you a Martian? Where are you?
Okay, look, can someone else articulate his point? I can't get past his lisp. I need someone else who hasn't got a lisp to restate the point.
Yikes.
Yeah, dude.
Anyone else?
That is a testable claim. Let's see if you... My lisp ain't going to go anywhere. So if you can't get past it, and you ever ask me another question...
Okay, Crit, the point is that if you look into the sky...
completely destroyed.
No, Crit. Like,
Your
when you look into the
garbage.
sky...
You've got no globe, you've got nothing at this
when you look into the sky... Just like how you look on the planet, right?
Be careful. If you ask me anything, you're going to debunk yourself.
On Earth, Crit, what we usually do, right, when we want to look at a phenomena like, oh, why does I don't know, a street light emit light here, there, and not some other places, right? We can observe that on Earth. We don't have to go into space for it. But when we're dealing with massive celestial objects like the Earth, the best way, right, I think, without, there are some ways on Earth that you can just find out if the Earth is flat or not, right? But let's say, the best way for us both right now, it's nighttime for me, I don't suppose it is for you, right? For us to look at something as massive as a celestial object as our planet and say, okay, how could we tell just by looking into the sky that the Earth clearly can't be flat, right? And unless you have an alternative, a model of a solar system, right, that explains the phenomena we see when we just look up into the sky, then I think everyone here, right, is going to defer to the one that has the most weight in explaining our world, right? And unfortunately, it's the onus isn't on me to say, aha, I have this proof
right,
that like, I've taken you into space. I've taken it. I'm going to
Why would we model a solar system though? That's your claim, not ours.
This is what you're doing right here. You're doing. You've
I'm going to wrap up, right? The point is,
astrology.
when you posit a theory, I'm about to answer his question. I'm about to answer his question. When you posit a theory for anything, scientific or otherwise, right? The goal of a theory is to explain the world that you live in, right? Or a concept. That's also the point of a concept, right?
Cause and effect. Phenomena.
So when you posit
the
these
world.
theories, and if it explains the world well, better than any other, we usually take it to be the most likely to be true, right? Now, I have a theory for why we see these phenomena in the sky and so on. You are just saying, well, it could be something else, but I don't know what it could be, right? That's not going to be convincing to anyone. That's not a convincing argument for flat Earth at all.
So this is what you did. You took astronomy and turned it into astrology, and you then made it a belief that lights in the sky have divined you supernatural insight and knowledge into what the Earth is.
Who said anything about divinity? I didn't mention divinity.
Yeah, that you think that moon up there or that star up there is telling you what the Earth is.
No, it has no agency. It's not telling me anything. But what I can do is
so there you go.
What I can do.
It didn't tell you anything.
Well, no, I didn't say it can't tell me anything. I mean, I can observe things and make conclusions, right?
But it's not the Earth.
But Crit, what you tried to do is use this rhetorical device where you said, "Oh, it's divine, it's supernatural," right? There's nothing divine or supernatural about celestial objects, right?
You think that celestial object's telling you something?
When I do anything on this Earth, right? I use a cue ball, right? I hit it, I know where it's going to go, right? Any sort of object that requires some sort of measurement, you'll accept it because you can stand right in front of me and watch it happen, right? But the minute I use something, a bit of let's say,
I get it. You want a monologue until you freak out and then act like a victim.
He's making a point. You guys mute everyone every day for cutting over you, and
there's no point there. The point is that he likes the sky and he thinks the sky tells him so.
I think this is a poor argument for flat. Look, again, like I said, I could make a better argument for flat Earth.
We could listen to you monologue all day long, but you said that we could measure shapes on Earth, right, to determine what they are, correct?
I said we can use measurements to observe things and make an account of why we observe things on Earth, right? So all I'm doing is extending that to the celestial objects.
Okay, can we use measurements to determine that the Earth is the celestial object that you think it is?
Hot mic, M. Your mic's hot.
I believe that. Well, we can use those measurements on Earth. So, for instance, you're aware of obviously the idea that when you have one dial or one stick in the sand further up the equator, one further down, the shadow will be different, right? Depending on where you're on the planet, right?
So that would be a measurement of shadows, though.
Yes, but then what you do? So like with anything else, I feel like this is the only thing you're probably going to object to on for some strange reason.
Well, the interpretation of the shadows is what I'm going to object to. Yeah.
Well, So what we do is we posit a theory. Okay, well, why do we observe this? Why do we observe that in the sky? Why do we observe all these things that seem to point in the same direction? Well, let's build a theory around it. And it seems and it gives our best account of reality. Now, Heretic, you have one job in this world, right? And it's not just to say, well, it could be something else. You need to have a model, right, that can compete with it. for it to be valid?
I don't.
Let's try it. Let's test your theory.
Would anyone be
I asked you
persuaded?
one simple
Let's
question.
test
Yeah,
your
I'm not
theory.
claiming the model. I'm not here to argue a model or anything like that. All I asked was if we could measure the celestial body that you think that you're standing on for direct verification that it is that celestial
Why
body.
does it have to be direct?
Oh, let's go right
so
here.
that it's verified.
Britt.
What? No. Why does verification have to be direct? Why do you insert that?
Britt, let's test your
because
theory.
it's because then all you're doing is inferring and interpreting. You're not actually directly verifying anything,
what's
which is
wrong with
fine. But the fact that you have to ask me why we have to do that is kind of suggesting to me that you can't do that, and that's all I wanted to know.
But what's wrong? What's wrong with inference? I mean, look, the point.
Because it could be wrong. Because it could be wrong. So we want to test it. We want to verify
Yeah,
it.
and
We want to
if-
know.
and if you
don't
have-
want to, that's fine. That's
So,
fine.
no,
You
heretic.
don't have to. If you don't
Heretic.
care and you're happy with your
No,
inference, that's
heretic,
just fine.
heretic,
But we are
no.
seeking verification.
No, heretic.
Yeah,
The
what
issue
test
here
have
is
you
that
done?
you think
hot
inference.
mic,
You think inference
hot
can't be verification. That's the
issue here is you're trying to psychoanalyze people when all
Well,
that was
I've not
asked is
talked
can
about
you
your
directly
mentality.
measure? Can you directly measure the shape that you think you're on? That's all. That's
okay,
all.
heretic. So the point is that we can get a collection of evidence from different things, right? So we can
Okay,
look at
so
the, we
would
can look
that
at the
be a
ground.
yes?
We can look at the ground.
Measure the
We can
shape
heretic.
that I'm on?
Hold on.
So that would be a yes, we can measure the shape that we're on, or a nah.
I got a test for his theory
yes,
right
we
here.
can. Yes, we can. Right?
Yes, we can. Okay,
The
great.
point.
Great. Let's just stop right there. Let's get to the method. How do we do that?
Here, look at right here.
Okay,
1 minute
so-
after the hour, I posted a test
So
for your theory.
I know
Which
where this
one of
is.
those-
I know where this is going. Right. This is
Yeah,
going
which
to.
one of
this-
those are curved?
Yeah,
Top
so
or
do I.
bottom?
It's going to no measurement, and you just waffling endlessly to avoid having to talk about the no measurement that there is.
Next one.
Well, no, because you've rejected
Hot
the
mic,
idea
M, hot
that an
mic.
inference can be verification.
I'm not rejecting anything. Okay, inference could be verification. Your inference could be wrong. I could be inferring a ghost in my bathroom when I hear a weird noise in the night. Anybody can do that. Let's go for verification and find out if there actually is a ghost there. In this case, the ghost being your globe. Can we verify it directly?
So, okay, first of all, yes, we can verify it directly or indirectly, right? The second thing is
how? No second thing. That's the only thing. How?
Every time you mute me is because you're scared of debate.
How? Every time you don't answer my questions because you're scared of debate. How do we verify it?
So, I mean, like I'll list you ways, right? So, first of all, we can.
No, don't give me a litany. Just give me one. We'll stick with that, hash it out, and if that falls through, we'll go to another.
Okay, well, look at the celestial objects in the sky.
Oh, okay. And how am I supposed to
You
measure
mute
the
me because
shape
you were
that I'm on?
scared. You're scared.
How am I supposed to measure the shape that I'm on by looking at stuff that's in the opposite direction as the shape that I'm on?
You're a pussy boy. You're scared. You can't.
Is that the measurement? I'm a pussy boy? I don't understand.
You can't debate. It's over.
I can't debate. Is that the measurement?
You can't debate. You can't debate.
You're
You're scared.
Is that
You're
the
scared of
measurement?
debating. You're scared.
I'm confused. Did anybody else get it? Because it doesn't sound like a measurement to me.
No, he spurred out. He didn't want to test his worldview, and he cracked.
Yeah.
Isn't that an ad hominem? Muted every 2 seconds.
You asked
I'm
for
not
the
gonna listen to
curvature
you
directly
monologue in the room all
of the
day.
Earth. You asked for the direct
The
measurement
point of
of
muting
curvature.
me. The point of muting me is.
Okay. I don't think he has the measurement we asked for.
I have a good
Does anybody
test
want-
for
I
his
heard
world.
someone say that the moon is a
does it-
light in the sky.
Does anyone,
like
just real quick, does anybody want him to continue his sermon before he doesn't give us the measurement, or we move on to someone else? Or
The only thing I had a good test for his worldview because he said these shadows can determine if an object's curved or not. I got two objects here. One is curved, one is not. Let's see if
yeah,
he's
he didn't
able
want to talk
identify.
about that too much.
Okay, but how about when there's a new moon? Wasn't there a shadow that looks like a disc on the moon? Like I don't.
All right,
Wait,
looks like we're moving on. Go ahead,
heretic.
guys.
Can you define measurement for me, heretic? Because I want to know what you're asking for. What kind of evidence you're asking for? Can you define measurement?
Oh, okay, you don't know what a measurement is.
No, define
All right,
it for
just
me.
Google it. Well,
Define
once
what
you figure out
measurement is.
No,
You
no,
can't.
no,
You don't know anything. Define measurement.
How many irrational numbers are
You're
between
asking-
0
Yeah,
and
but
1?
it's a spurg, dude.
He needs us to tell him what a measurement is, so he's not the
Yeah,
one. We'll move on.
he's disqualified. That's a disqualification.
Spiraling over measurements.
Yeah, if you this is my worldview. Anyone talking to me, I'll put it down right now. It's probably the majority of the human race too. If I know something, I'm not going to ask somebody something I already know. I might ask them if I'm curious. What is your favorite color? I don't know that, and they tell me aquamarine. I'm like, I've never heard that color before. Can you tell me what aquamarine is?
What are you
or
talking
something
about?
along
He
those
was
lines.
he
Yeah,
was
and you're
just using.
saying the other guy was waffling,
Listen,
dude. This guy's waffling even harder.
Yeah, if
He
you don't
literally
know
all he
what the
was
word
doing was
measurement means,
asking
you are
for. Literally all he was
disqualified.
for
You are
was
This
disqualified.
guy
That's a
is going on a
disqualification.
define your point.
monologue. This guy's tandering. Like
Yeah,
you're
if you
saying the
don't
other
know
guy was.
something,
This guy's doing it even harder.
yeah.
He
So
does
what?
know it. He's
Thanks for the
asking
color
if he
commentary.
can verify it. Like I don't know what the hell you're on about.
Yeah, if you know something, do you ask it if you know it?
What are you talking about, bro?
So
Say you know
if the
what
Earth
2
is
plus 2
flat,
is.
how far can you run away from here?
I know what 2 plus 2. He was
and still
asking
Would
be
you
on
to
Earth,
ask
right?
what 2 plus
define what
2
the
is?
measurement define what the measurement he was doing. Like what are you even saying, bro?
Okay,
You're just
pay
going on
attention.
schizo
Pay
rant about
attention
fucking
very
colors.
closely. You know 2 plus 2 is 4. Do you ask somebody what 2 plus 2 is?
Yeah,
bringing up
because
math.
you want to see if they can have the same level of verified information and they're on the same precedent as you in the argument.
Okay, my
That's called
worldview
a
is you wouldn't
proposition,
ask
bro.
that. If somebody's talking about mathematics and you decide to ask them, what's 2 plus 2, that would be a disqualification.
What?
If 2 plus 2 is up for debate or up for a question, like you don't know the answer to that, that would be a disqualification. You are
No, there was. It
disqualified.
wasn't up for debate. He was verifying. That's what was happening. It was a
Yeah,
proposition.
and feedback told them, just look it up and use a definition there. That should be enough.
Okay, well then, why should he have to look up and define a question that he asked? That's not how debating works.
It's his question.
No, it's his question. But since he asked the
it's
question,
his question. He's got the
it's the
question.
duty of Heretic to answer the
No, it's
question
not.
and provide the
It's not Heretic's
information
question.
asked.
It's his question. He's got the question. Now, will he complete his journey and get the answer even
Wait.
after Heretic directed him to use Google and just look up the word?
Wait a minute. It's my duty to
What are
educate
you
him on
even-
what a measurement is. Is that what I
It's
just
not.
heard?
Because
Yeah, it's
you
not.
you
okay,
asked
listen,
because
if
he
I,
asked the
if I
question
listen,
to
hold
you.
on, I got to follow up to that real quick because if I have to tell him what a measurement is, he obviously doesn't have one because he doesn't even know what one is. So we'll just move on
No,
to the
he
next
was
person
asking to
who already
verify
knows
something.
what a measurement is, right? And maybe they'll have the measurement we asked for, but he doesn't know what it is, so he's not the one.
I have a measurement. Okay, little bro.
See,
Okay,
I
but
call
someone
that
asked
a
the question
disqualification. Hot mic
originally
M.
on the
Hot mic.
But someone
your
asked.
mic is hot.
Bruh, someone asked a question though. How far on the flat Earth could you walk until like you couldn't walk anymore?
Didn't that lady's hot
Until
mic
you
and
get to
guys?
water.
Can you mute her?
Nothing about flat Earth
Then
makes
you're-
any sense.
You can walk till
Okay,
you
but
get to
so
water,
we
then
have
you're
a
swimming.
general explanation for this with the globe. So I'm just asking you guys what your explanation would be. Like, how far
How
can we
far
walk?
can you walk on the globe until you can't walk anymore?
But I asked you first. Answer my question.
It's the
So you
same
hit
question.
water.
Holy
So you hit
shit.
fucking water.
Either way, it's yeah. The fuck.
No,
Now
but
let's
like,
ask the question:
wouldn't
how
it
far
if you
can you
if it was
swim
a
until you
flat
can't
Earth?
swim anymore?
But if there was a flat Earth, wouldn't you like walk and then eventually just drop?
Why would you drop? How are you going to fall off the
Because
floor? How would you fall off the floor?
well, I mean, we wouldn't in the globe. It's because
How-
of gravity, but
What is? How do you fall off the floor?
Earth, right? So the
well,
center of
because if
gravity
the
would be
Earth is flat, you walk. There should be an end somewhere for us to have gas in the
The
air,
beach
right?
where there's water,
The-
and then you're at water. Now what do? You can
Get
keep
in a
moving
boat.
forward.
So you're
Okay,
just
now
gonna
where do you
keep going in a straight line, right? And then if you come
Okay,
to the
hold on,
edge
hold
of
on.
the flat Earth, would you fall off, or what would happen?
Where's the edge of the universe?
Well, there isn't in
It's
the
a-
globe. That's why I'm asking
Where's the edge of
you.
the universe?
You guys are claiming the Earth is flat. You,
That's where my point is this conversation goes so
No,
far
but-
because it keeps on going and going and going,
no,
right?
but we have explanations. You guys have no theories to your explanations.
You have
It's like
stories.
no, yeah, but we've made these stories up. You
You
guys
have
have put
lore.
no effort in
You
to
have
make
lore
theories up.
and
You guys are
stories.
no, but listen, before you cut me off, you guys are
You're
making no
making
effort to
assumptions
make.
because you don't
Dude,
know.
you're cutting me
Holy
off.
crap. You're cutting
making
me
no,
off.
Bruh, you're making no explanations or theories up to
If
prove
I
that
try
the
and
Earth is
explain to you
flat.
what's going on and you won't listen, then am I making an explanation or are you interrupting the explanation?
Okay, go on.
I think it's also a testable claim. If you think there's no explanation, why are you asking for an explanation?
What?
Okay, could you please
What the
explain
fuck
what
does that even
happens if
mean,
you
bro?
walk on a flat plane forever?
Okay.
I'm actually
Yeah, in
interested.
your worldview, you think there's no explanation. There's no explanation. No one's got an explanation for you. Do you A, ask for an explanation?
So you didn't even answer the question. All right.
Yeah, let's see how
I'll
far
take
your
your point.
logic will go here.
The universe is infinite, but there's nothing there. There's nothing in the universe. It's not an infinite like landmass that just goes on forever.
Yeah, so in
Okay.
your guys' model, where you did used to have an original model, right? You have the dome model, that's the flat Earth. If you kept walking, like you
No,
would eventually walk off the edge because the
that's
Earth is
your
flat.
idea.
No,
That's
that
your
is your idea. The Earth is flat. It's a flat surface. There would be an end.
That's
There
a
would
straw
have to
man,
be an
little
end
girl.
to it.
not the way you're talking about.
Huh? There would have to be an end to it. It's because how do we have oxygen
Not the
on
way
Earth
you're
if there
talking
wasn't
about.
an end? Huh?
You
Like-
said we could walk in somewhere and then drop. That's your
Oxygen has
sloppy
mass
idea,
that's
not ours.
attracted to other
Well, if the
masses.
Earth is flat, there
Not the
should
way
be
you're
an.
talking about.
So you just don't think like. So what do you guys think the
You're
Earth is
you're
then?
making up
Like,
an idea in your head and trying to pawn it off on us as if.
because you guys don't explain anything. That's
Well,
the
so then
point.
why are you trying to
You
force
leave
your
us.
ideas onto
You leave
us?
us to make up our own theories in our head and what you
Then
want
do
us
it.
to think.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Well, because you guys have no explanation. This is my point. You guys do not
That is a
explain
testable
anything.
claim.
Isn't better.
Oh my
if
gosh,
you
do I
think
have
there's
to put a contestable claim counter on this chat because you've said that over 10 times now? I
Yes,
do not
because
want
it's
to hear it again.
following your worldview. If I think you've got no
Okay, well that's a
catch
contestable
up.
claim.
Yeah, if I think
Yeah, well
you've
that's a
got no
contestable claim though.
Yeah, if I think you've got no catch up, would I A, ask you for catch up, or B, not ask you for catch up if you've got no catch up? Which one would I do? Ask you for it or not ask you for it?
We're not
if
talking
I
about
know you
catch
don't
up, we're
have it.
talking about the Earth.
You guys are the experts of gaslighting.
You inside your worldview, you
Demon
think
Slayer.
there's no explanation,
Shut
and
the
you
fuck
keep
up.
asking for explanations. Your
Well,
worldview is
So
broken.
let's put it this way: we've made an
Yeah.
effort, right, to try and prove on how all these phenomenons happen, whatever you want to call them, or how everything happens, how we are literally here. You guys are trying to contest this without no backing or any experiments at all on your side to prove the Earth is flat.
That's a category error.
Yeah, it's
So
called
why do you
reactionism.
say
It
flat
means that
Earth
you're
if you
pissed at your
don't?
parents or something.
But you say you're flat Earth, but you don't believe flat Earth. So what is it?
Not the way you're trying to present it. No.
So what is it? So answer, what is it?
Wait a minute. So now you're asking? Then that should have been the
Well,
first
yeah,
thing to start
so
with.
I did ask. I said, what do you think the Earth is then? And then you said, well, that's your claim.
To be fair to them, you started off with your assertion of what you thought they thought about it. You didn't directly
So
ask.
okay, so I'm gonna ask again. What is the Earth if it isn't flat?
No, you should have started with that. It is.
Okay, so answer it now. I'm doing it now. What is the Earth if it isn't flat?
You should first understand what the word even means in this
Okay,
context.
just answer my question instead of replying
Instead
with a
of
question.
interrupting, can you let him just
Do
talk?
they have a hot mic or something?
Yeah,
Dude,
he's been hot micing.
He's replying with a question though. I
didn't.
want
I
an
said
answer to my
you
question. I
should
don't want a
understand
question
what
to a
Finish his
question.
statement
It
before you
wasn't
just
a
jump
question.
down his throat first.
Okay, go on then. Answer
Really
my
don't
question. Let me just say it again though for you, right? What do you think the Earth is if it isn't flat?
It is just not the way you're trying to present it.
So what is it?
Okay. Well, first you need to understand what the word means in this context. So I would challenge you to maybe take a look around you at all the surfaces nearby. You'll notice that there's only two options for a surface description. You've got things that are rounded, aka like my mouse, or you've got things that are not rounded, like the mouse pad. But those are the only two options here, Em. So we're not talking about some landmass or shape or some object. We're talking about the surface description of the Earth. It can only be one of those two options. So people try to make it all complex. Well, where can I go and jump off the ground? It's not about that.
Okay, but we
So-
have objects on the Earth that isn't flat, like a ball. That's not
Do you
flat.
think the Earth is
Your explanation makes no sense.
actually have rounded
Well, let me give you something more to chew on.
and
Okay.
also there's no such
Well,
thing
no,
as
it's not more
circle.
that I want. You're saying that you're trying to make out that all objects on Earth have to be flat, but no, we have a
Not
ball
what I
that
said.
isn't flat.
It's not
No,
even
she's not
what I
getting
said. She's not
Okay,
getting it.
guys.
I'm just reel it in.
The Earth is half an egg.
Somebody
You know,
please
it's like a
explain
if you cut an egg in
how
half.
the Earth is how a flat Earth would look like. Please, just
Let me
stop
let me take
talking
this.
around it and stop
Okay,
interrupting him.
let me take this one. All right. So the way you guys see your entire world in the universe, you can't leave it to go to some quote outside area and turn around and take selfies with it. If I were to ask you what shape is the whole universe, I don't really expect you guys to have that answer. How would you know what that is? So you have to understand that we don't see the Earth as an object within a larger space. We see the Earth as basically the way you see the universe, this large space, not an object within a large space. So we can't pop out of the Earth to take selfies from some outside and tell you what it all looks like. Just like you can't pop out of the
We can
universe
do
to
that,
say
but
what
people have
all of
done
the
it.
universe looks like.
Yeah, but so what do you think the object is, though?
I'm telling you, Em, you got to clean the earwax out.
No, but
It's not an
you were
object.
not
It's not
answering
anything
what
like
you think the
earwax.
object is.
I just
It's a
told you it's
direct
not.
answer. It's not
Yesterday,
hard to
covered this
answer.
yesterday.
No, no, no,
Over
no, no, no,
and
no.
over.
There's
Wait.
literally
I'm
a guy
slowly
who
getting.
jumped out
I'm
of
slowly
the
getting what
upper
he's saying.
like out of the ozone layer and skydived all the way from outer space down
We've done
to
that
the
before.
Something.
ground
Let
on
me
Earth.
just say
Yes,
this.
we have. A man did do that.
Let me just say this.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
If you go stay inside the Earth, the whole space can be seen as flattened because according to quantum physics, space have shapes. And when you are inside the Earth, all the space is can seen as flat. But it doesn't mean it is literally flat in outside the Earth.
Thank you. Well, what I was trying to say was like, you got to be careful because a lot of people, um, let me just say this. You know how you can't put Halo in a PlayStation, right? They're not compatible. So you also can't take flat objects and put them into outer space and pretend that that's our position. So I'm trying to help you understand that we don't see the Earth as an object. I already said this 3 times, so pay attention. It's not
Okay,
an
so you just
object
think
within a. Excuse
we're
me.
on here, but
Let me
we're on nothing.
I'd like to
So
finish.
that's basically what you
So,
think.
well, I'd like to finish my point. So, the same way you see the universe is the same way we see the Earth, as the large space. I wouldn't think that you would say that universe is an object floating around within another large space, would you?
So you agree with infinity, right?
Again, I'd like maybe you could answer the question.
But I'm answering. You agree with
You're not
infinity
answering the
because
question. That has
you.
nothing to do with what I asked. So you don't
Okay,
see
repeat
the
your
universe as
question.
an object, do you?
Repeat your question.
Listen this time.
Can we get someone else? Because I don't
No,
think she's.
repeat your question. I'm asking you to
She did
repeat it
this
and
Yeah,
I'll
last 2
hold on,
answer
hold
days
on,
it.
and
hold
it's
on.
useless.
I actually
Huh?
no, stop,
Just
stop,
re-ask
stop
your
talking
question.
everybody,
Every
okay?
day she's been in here.
Please.
This is
He
all she's
explained it
heard.
actually pretty well. I might disagree with flat Earth, but you not getting this is not our
No, but
problem, okay?
okay, but that's why I said in his theory he would have to agree with
Haven't even offered
infinity.
you a theory.
No,
So
he
do you
doesn't
agree
have
with?
to agree with infinity because
Well,
he literally explained how it's an enclosed system, how the Earth itself is the universe, and that's
so he agrees that
Okay.
there's no end
No,
to the Earth, so that it
let
would
me
be
ask you this.
infinity.
I know you're triggered, but
the
you,
Huh? I'm not
basically
triggered.
the
I'm calm.
you seem pretty triggered. Is your
No,
universe
I'm not.
infinite or is it have an edge?
No, but like you're saying
So
there's
I'd
no
like to
end
answer
to
the
Earth.
question.
So
I
you
never said
compare
that.
you were literally
You,
comparing it to what we think
excuse me,
like
I'm asking you.
outside of Earth is, and
I know
we
you're
say
triggered.
that we see that as infinity, right? You were comparing
Not
it to the
everyone.
exact
Sorry,
same
sorry.
thing.
Not everyone. If you go to Google, if you go to Google and look up, there's an article that says we asked 5 experts, is the universe infinite or not? They don't all agree. And I would also challenge that probably everyone in this panel has a different view on that as well. I don't think everyone agrees that the universe is infinite. Although I will say, when I believed in the outer space, I thought it was infinite. So
Universe is not
I'll give you
infinite, but omniverse is infinite with the parallel universes.
Okay, no,
real
stop,
crazy
stop.
on
The universe, as we understand it, works on Einstein's formulations of a 2D space, and 2D space by mathematical basis must be infinite because if you use any math
Omega.
ever, no, fuck you, never ever speak again, you fucking idiot. So anyway, 2D space must be infinite because that's how the math works. So yeah,
Is
the
the Earth
universe.
flat or is your voice flat?
That's random. But again, not everyone who believes in outer space believes it's infinite. So you're trying to pin that on me, Em, as if I said that. So
But
I don't see the Earth as infinite. I don't think anything is.
he just explained it to you. He
Again,
literally just explained the whole theory
understand.
we have to you, and you compared your theory to our theory, saying it's the exact same thing, but you don't believe in that. Like
I'm
we
just
have
trying to
that
give you our
out of
position.
space,
This
so
isn't a
therefore
pawn
it would
shop.
have to be infinity, which is
No,
what I'm asking you.
no, this isn't a pawn shop where you pawn off your sloppy ideas onto me and have me defend them for you. That doesn't work that way. I never said the Earth is
Broken.
infinite. I'm just
You
trying to give you my
compared it yourself in your own words. You said it yourself.
again. You don't see the universe as an object, so I'm trying to help you understand our position. I'm not saying it's exactly the same. Just want you to understand that the Earth, as we see it, is not an object where you can walk to an edge and then drop off, goofball. How would you fall off the ground anyway? So I'm just trying to give you our position so you can at least understand. So it seems like some of the other
You
people
don't
can
think there's an
understand.
edge to the Earth, right?
Well, do you think there's an edge to the universe?
Well, no, because that
Okay,
guy
well
just
then
literally
no,
explained. No,
and no,
most people who believe in the universe is infinite. But I'm
not
asking you,
everyone.
do you think there's an edge to the Earth then?
Not the way you're thinking of it. So,
What's an edge? Like, actually, no, like,
well,
actually tell me what an edge
I mean,
is.
2 minutes ago you thought it was somewhere where you can go and fall off the ground.
Well, that would be an edge,
Well,
yes.
not that. So not that then.
Oh my gosh. So you're
So
just making stuff up now then?
Wait, so
No,
where's
you
the
are.
frustration coming from, Em? Because he's answering all of your questions and going
She's disingenuous, dude. Just mute her. This is
Huh?
ridiculous.
even for the people who don't agree with him, like
Okay,
he's
hold on.
engaging with you and
Hold on. Okay, Creation Bear. Are you saying that the universe in your model is limited in size?
Yeah, I
Just
wouldn't say it's infinite. I would say it's whoever said it was a closed system, then yeah,
It
well,
is a
that's our
closed
position.
system. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's our position. Yeah.
And that closed system is all there is.
Yeah, kind of in the same way that, like, for those that don't think the universe is infinite, again, not everyone agrees with that, even on the globe side.
Yeah, but
That
the
that would
difference
be a
between
closed
you and
system.
those people is that your universe is much, much, much smaller than
How
their
we're
universe.
not. Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, they're saying it's billions and millions and trillions, but it also hasn't been fully explored. So I would say the same thing applies to the Earth. It's very. I mean, it's quite
Okay,
big.
to
But it's not
everyone here who
fully
didn't get it,
explored
what
to
he's
say
saying,
it's this
he's
size.
basically saying that the
He doesn't get what
universe
he's
is a
saying.
limited space with borders. Okay.
With borders, yeah. So, therefore, there would be an edge.
Ones that
'Cause
haven't been reached, Em. It's not like anyone's reached the edges
okay,
of the
so then you agree with. So why haven't they? Why ain't you
It's
doing these
quite
experiments
big,
and doing
isn't
it?
it?
Why
It
ain't you
makes
going and
sense you just
testing it
said.
out?
It's quite a big
You,
place.
you know
And
what this
Earth as
retard
well.
thinks? Like, he thinks if you sail around the entire globe and then you end up back in India.
Imp Migna is unironically
India,
40
like
pounds.
the special world, like in Super Mario Brothers,
I
or
never said
something.
anything like that. I mean,
Yeah, that
I
would
mean,
be a freak
that's
out right
basically
now.
what your little brain works like.
bro, I mean, again, this isn't a pawn shop where you pawn off your sloppy ideas onto me. That's not
No,
what I said.
I'm just infinitely smarter than you, and you're a fucking
Okay.
retard.
Oh, dude, I just got here.
Based opinion.
Can you define what a border is to me then?
Again, no one's reached the edges of the universe.
But
Quite
yeah, I know
because it's
because we've
quite
done tests
Okay,
where we've gone
so
from
can I
north
ask a
to
question
south.
for you
No,
then?
hang on. We've
because
done
it's. I mean,
experiments where
obviously
we've
infinite.
gone north to
Obviously
south and we've ended up in this exact same spot.
no one's done that.
Yeah, we've done the experiments though. What you're
done
I
saying
want
is
to ask
not true.
another
We've done the
question.
experiments.
No, you haven't. It's not even an
Yeah.
experiment.
I want to ask another
Going
question.
from
Can I
one
ask?
place, going in a straight line north to south on a compass, where we come back to the exact same spot.
Straight line via
Never
what?
been done.
It's not a straight line, ding dong. It's
How
going in a.
planes
Okay, hold
fly,
on.
little bro.
Oh
I
my
know
god.
how to ask this question better. Hold on. Creation
I
Bear.
actually wanted to ask
Is there
something,
a
but you know.
reason? Is there a reason why we did not reach this hypothetical end of the universe?
Well, it's big, right? I mean, they're still. They say they have Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 still exploring. It's quite a big place. You don't just Goku instant transmission to
Who
wherever
said
you want
that?
to go.
I want
Who
to
said
ask
that?
another question.
No, no,
Wait,
no.
so
Wait, who said that? I want to know who said that.
She's hot micing bad. Can we
No,
just?
but I want to know who said that. Give me
Um,
evidence of who said.
I'm sitting here
Yeah,
being
take a
muted.
breath.
Better.
I want to
Let's
ask another
fix that.
question, guys.
I don't know if she was aware of how much she was hot miking.
So Voyager, the fastest Voyager craft right now, has actually reached the end of the solar system. It made some
Whoa.
interesting.
Again?
Not
Hyper.
yet. It hasn't
That's what
got there
NASA
yet.
says.
It
Okay,
broke
NASA is saying that it's reached the end of the solar system.
Creation
No,
Bear,
So
tell me, do you believe
look
in
that
time
up.
travel? Do you believe
how
in time travel?
Sky, there's one guy already asking one question. You don't butt in like that, okay? Wait your
Okay,
turn.
Yeah.
then I will ask the question. Go ahead.
After. Okay, thank you.
Honestly, I don't know if I can be in this room with this Indian constantly saying the dumbest shit to interrupt us.
If he interrupts again, I will mute him. Go ahead.
Thank you. So Voyager is currently NASA says that Voyager is currently at the edge of our solar system. Okay, where do
Okay.
you think Voyager is right now?
Not at the edge of the universe.
Okay.
Yeah, it says
Can I
right
now ask?
here. I just looked it up. Okay, I was a lot of globalists get this wrong. Okay, so it's technically still in our solar system. It will not leave the solar system for 28,000 more years. It gives an idea of how far or how big these distances are in the globe-tard religion model. Because
Do
you'll
you
read
guys believe in?
Well, what object are you talking about?
Voyager 1.
Oh, Voyager 1?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
Voyager 2 they lost contact with, but then they were able to do something. They had like another thing going on with that. Yeah, there isn't any space probes out there. Okay, so you can throw that away from the very beginning.
No.
But
You don't understand how space travel works, because Voyager will never ever leave this gravitational pull of the sun, because we don't just fly directly to planets. We use the gravity of planets alongside. Like it's a slingshot maneuver. That's how we get from planet A to planet B. So in that same way, Voyager will never leave the gravitational system of our solar system.
okay, here citation NASA.gov. Missions in-depth analysis of Voyager 1. Citation. Voyager 1 will remain within the solar system until it emerges from the Oort cloud in another 28,000 years.
It's nothing to do with what he said.
So this idea that it's on the edge of interstellar space, they just made the word edge mean 28,000 years. That's the edge of the solar system.
Okay, where is the heliosphere?
Yeah, no. I agree with him. It's impossible as of right now to build a rocket or anything powerful enough to achieve escaping the sun's gravity.
See, this is why, too, I sometimes say, you globalists, you've got enough content in the globe to worry about that. You don't even need to worry about flat Earth. You can let it go. Somebody disagrees with you, whatever. Just studying Voyager 1. Hold on, I'm almost there. Okay? Just studying Voyager 1 would take the rest of your natural life to understand it. You could spend every day, day in, day out, just studying Voyager 1 and never really scratch the surface on the content that's been provided to you. So why are you here worried about flat Earth if you've got content you should care about? See, I think this shit's fake. I'll tell you straight up. It's fake as fuck. I don't give a shit about it. The only reason why I read it because it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious for someone to tell me that on the edge is in another 28,000 years. That's their definition of the word edge.
Wait, so you think Voyager 1 is fake?
Oh, yeah, fake as fuck, dude.
Wait, what is fake?
Do you have any evidence to provide that it's fake, or do you?
Yeah, the first evidence I would use is the photo, pale blue dot. What they did was the 1990, they turned it around. I think it's Voyager 1. Or Voyager 2, one of them. They turned it around and they took a picture of Earth. And Carl Sagan was super inspired by this. He wrote a poem and he did like a kind of like a music video later on about it. And basically he said, there is no better demonstration of the folly of human deceits than the view of our Earth, a tiny, distant, inscrutable blue dot that fades into blackness. He goes, to me, it underscores the, I'm paraphrasing this. I don't have the whole thing memorized because parts of it. It underscores the necessity to deal more kindly with one another and basically cherish the world and cherish each other. This is the only world you'll ever know. There's no place to go. You are in this world together as all people. And you better start getting along because there's no reset button. This isn't like the one kid was talking about Super Mario World. There's no reset button here. You don't get to start back at World 1-1 and try again. This is one shot. And
So
even if
I
you
think
could start,
you've
almost there, got one more point. Even if you could start over, they've bombed the cradle of civilization twice in the last 20 years with depleted uranium rounds. The cradle where humanity started is now a radioactive wasteland because of oil. So what I'm looking at here is I can look at Voyager 1 and what it should have meant for humanity and notice it didn't mean that. So even if it's real, no one gave a fuck. No one gave two shits. So it's fake anyway. They didn't even convince themselves of it. Carl Sagan was, I
think your point's over, bro. Like
Yeah, what?
you've already answered to me why it's fake, but you're just
Okay.
monologuing about Iraq now and like other unrelated things.
No, it's all related because these are the
You
shot
know,
callers. These are the
you
people,
know, I'm
the
gonna
same
respond
people
to
who
the
took the
first thing you said.
photo. The same
Why
people
do I
who took
care?
one more
I
thing.
want to respond to it because it was my question, but
The same people who took the photo are the same ones who bombed Iraq. This is executive branch of the U.S. federal government for 100, Alex. You haven't even got to the $1,000 question. You're still in the $100 question, and you can't even connect what the executive branch did, knowing what the executive branch said they know. You can't even connect the executive branch to the executive branch. How am I supposed to explain anything to you if you don't even understand the executive branch is the executive branch? I can't.
Okay,
There's no way.
I have nowhere. I don't even know where you got that idea from because I asked you a question about Voyager 1. Now you're talking about the executive branch of the U.S.
Yeah,
government.
the executive branch
I think
is
we
the
should
branch
stay
of
on
government.
topic.
The executive branch of the United States federal government is the one who launched Voyager 1. If you believe them, that is who you're believing. The executive branch of the federal government.
Okay.
So if you can't connect the executive branch to Voyager, I'm not sure what I can do for you, dude, at this point. You need to go back and relearn like 5th grade civics, that there's 3 branches of government.
Number one, I'm in Canada, and number two, I understand what you're trying to say, that like it's fake because it's part of the government and therefore it's NASA. But I mean, you still haven't really provided me with evidence to say it's fake. Just saying it's fake because it's part of the U.S. government doesn't really immediately make it a valid opinion or a valid assertion.
Okay, so I added more to that.
Yeah, you did. Like, what was it, Carl Sagan? But like, that doesn't make it fake either because Carl Sagan is just what is he, like a writer or something?
Okay, let's try it this way. Look in the text chat.
Do you know who launched the Voyager 1? Who was the leader of Voyager 1?
I got a bigger photo than this though. But what do you see there? This is you can expand it out too, like to make it. This is the actual photo. What do you see there?
So that is a dot. That is a white dot. What I see, and a looks to be orange gradient.
Okay, there's a sunbeam. So apparently, this is a photo that was taken by Voyager of Earth.
Okay.
What does it mean for you? What do you see here? What do you get from it? Do you see on this photo that you should spurg out over flat Earth?
What? Doesn't that just prove you wrong since it's a dot, bro, and it looks like a circle and it's not flat?
So yeah,
you believe it's real.
You think this is real. So what should you do with this knowledge?
If I think it's real, what should I do with this knowledge?
Yeah, what does it mean for you? Does it change your perspective of the world and whatnot?
Hold on, you don't get to ask me questions because I was the one asking questions. This was
Yeah,
what me.
and
I
I'm
was
asking
you
inside your worldview. So we're diving into your worldview. Looking at this photo, I can
okay,
tell
no,
it's
this
fake.
has nothing to do with my worldview. I asked for evidence on how this is fake, not what my worldview is.
Yeah, so here it
I
is.
don't. Listen, let me speak for a
Carl
second.
Sagan.
Let me speak for a second.
Why do you need to speak if you're looking for an
My
explanation?
opinion. No, I know, and I'm going to let
Why
you
would you
explain.
add your opinion if you think your opion's irrelevant? I tried
Okay,
to
well
get
then
more
why are
information
you
from you.
trying?
I
Well then
tried to
why are
get
you
more
trying
information
to
from
get
you,
my
and you wouldn't
opinion
give
if
it.
it's irrelevant?
So why are you giving it now? Why would you give unsolicited? Why would you say that your opinion doesn't matter? I'm supposed to provide you with something. If I ask you anything, you won't answer. Then go on to interrupt
Okay,
me
go
as
ahead.
I'm talking to you.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so here's the direct
I'll
quote.
play your
Carl
little
Sagan.
game.
It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human deceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home you'll ever know. So why would Carl Sagan be wrong? Because obviously you are not a humble. You have no character. You're at this constant beefing with people. You're not even trying to treat others with kindness. You're not preserving the earth. So why would I believe you if you won't even believe Sagan? I think what he does is even better. What he says fits a flat earth better, which is why I'm a better globalist than a lot of you guys. I telecommute most times to work. If not, I ride my bike unless it's really bad weather. I use a vegan vegetarian diet. So I'm doing all these things to try to make this world a better place, even without the pale blue dot.
Bro,
You guys
if you
see the
just knew
pale.
what I would do.
You guys use a pale blue dot to initiate endless conflict over
So
ideas.
the original
over
question was, how is Voyager 1 fake? I don't understand how any of this is particularly related to this, because this has just been a lot of ad hominems towards me, and now you're kind of just ego tripping and being rude to everyone in this room. So I don't know what
that
you're.
is a testable claim.
Get a mirror for
Wait,
you.
hold on. Crit. Wait a second.
Interesting.
When did you
Hey,
make
he's
the
not
connection?
being rude to me.
When did you
He's not being rude to me, so not everyone.
hold on. Crit, when did you make the connection between Carl Sagan writing a poem one day and making the statement and asserting that everyone who's now believing what this pale blue dot is must also believe what Carl Sagan said at this one point?
Oh, I didn't. That's why I asked him what is his take of pale blue dot before I introduced Sagan. And he basically told me to fuck off. He's not going to tell me what it means at all. All he
Because
said
that
was
wasn't
the
my
only
original.
thing he would use it for is to laugh at me and use it as a debunking of flat Earth. So I'm like, certainly,
No,
Toby,
I
let
never
me
even mentioned
introduce
it.
someone who's more rational than you.
You're just criticizing him and basically everybody in the room.
Okay, can you define how I'm criticizing everyone? I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do is I asked him a question, right? Okay, and then he had a proposition, and that proposition was Voyager 1 is fake. And what that means is now you're going to try to get to the conclusion of how it's fake, but you've really not discerned that. You've kind of just sort of started insulting me and like talking about things like the pale blue dot and such, which I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but like I don't see how it's relevant to this discussion, because I was actually interested in hearing what he has to say. And now he's
Outer
making a bunch
space is
of
fake.
assumptions about me,
If
and now
they
I'm
send
quite
you,
offended at that.
if they are sending you a photograph from Narnia, you know that's not real. So if you're asking how do you know it's fake, how do they leave the enclosed system and sending you photograph from the outside of this system?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good way to take
if I'm
this.
right, how could I be wrong? Like, if I'm right, how?
That's a good way to take this. I tried to take it into an area of what it would mean for humanity, what to actually see what the Earth is, and he's not connecting it. So let's just go right to the hard science. So law of thermodynamics violations.
Okay.
yeah, how can they go to a place that doesn't exist and send you a photograph from there?
But okay. So you said you're going to go into the hard science. Can you go into the hard science of how it breaks the laws of thermodynamics, please?
Hello to
Sure.
you.
How if they sent you a photograph from
I'm
there
not.
from that spot,
Okay,
how are
excuse me.
you
I wasn't
breathing?
asking you. I was asking Crit
How,
because this
how
was
are
the
you
original
breathing?
proposition.
How are you
It's okay.
breathing air right
He
now?
has it.
He was the one who made the proposition, not you. I mean, if you believe in it, do you want to
He
talk now?
understands it. It's fine. Jumsy has this.
Yeah,
So
you missed a handoff. I said this is where I would take it. Gemsy then said, "Hey, here's a better proposition," and I said, "Sure, go ahead."
Okay, I didn't hear that. You go ahead, Jemsy.
so you're breathing air right now, aren't you? Aren't
Yes.
you? So look right here with citations, right?
Okay.
The pressure of gas is the force that the gases exert on the walls of the container, right? So right now you can expand your lungs and gas pressure rush inside of your lungs, allowing you
Okay.
to breathe, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So if you're saying that they left the containment of this place and took this photograph of the blue dot, that will be a violation of natural law. So it's impossible. Their claim of you're standing on a globe, on a ball, it's impossible. Get it?
What was my claim again about this? I don't think I made that claim. Can you
Okay, you're making a claim. Oh, you're
tell me
saying,
what you heard?
how can you
Wait,
disprove?
hold on a second. How does this law disprove this picture thing? Do you know what
Yeah.
this law actually states?
State it. What does it state?
It says basically, it just talks about the molecules are in constant random motion, frequently collide with each other and with the walls of the container. Because the molecules are in motion, a gas will expand to the floor. Density is defined by the mass divided by the volume density. Deep directs on the size of the container in which fixed mass of gas is confined. This is talking about gas, the behavior of gas within a confined space.
There you go. Confinement, containment. The antecedent to the gas pressure that you're breathing right now is containment.
Yeah, and this Earth has a containment. It's called gravity. Gravity is pulling on the gases in the Earth into the Earth.
That's the god of the heliocentric model. Gravity. It does things. It does everything. It's a container. It's keeping you on the ground. It's doing all these things,
No,
right? You cannot demonstrate any of them.
gravity
But
is one
you're
of the four
claiming that
forces in the universe. We have a lot of good proof for that.
The experts
it's
And
not a
it is
force, but it is a force. Oh, so what's the vector of gravity? What is the vector of gravity?
the vector of gravity doesn't have a vector. Like when you talk about the forces of the universe, then gravity is not one of the actors within the mathematics. It's basically the ground on which all the things operate on.
Gravity is the ground that where everything operates. That's gravity.
Okay, there is four forces. Okay, you have strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force. Okay, basically,
Can you just demonstrate a citation where you
great
can demonstrate gravity is a container?
gravity is not like an actor within the stage on which is placed. Okay, gravity is like the stage that is being played on. It's the stage itself. It is just space being warped by mass.
So space being warped is a container.
Because things can be pushed into these canyons that basically gravity creates.
Where is the wall of gravity? Because you read
Hold on, you
the
broke up. What
definitions,
did you
right?
say?
Where is the wall of gravity? Where is it? The
You
wall of
broke up. What
gravity.
did you say?
You were talking about canyons of gravity
Hello?
or something.
Am I cutting out or is he cutting out?
Where is the wall of gravity that you're claiming?
Am I
Where's the
cutting out
wall?
or is hold
He
on,
must
can you
not be able to hear us.
Oh, okay, I can hear you now. Good. Where's the wall of gravity?
Yeah, you're claiming the gravity is a container, as of the definition, right?
It is the
Where's the
force
wall of
it is
gravity?
the force that is containing the gas to a certain location. It doesn't have to be a wall itself. It doesn't have to be a literal physical wall like this of a gas pressure tank.
How does it do it? Is it like a force field?
You could see it as a force field. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send you a great picture, okay?
This will be good.
So let's see right here.
You guys know this
Physics.org. In general relativity, your claim, right?
You see this picture
Gravity
that I just sent?
gravity is not a force between masses. There you go. Between the gases, there is no gravity force that you're claiming.
You see the picture that I just sent?
You're saying that picture
No,
is a container
I'm
for
not gonna,
gases?
dude. I'm not gonna change topics not every second just because your ADHD brain finds something new to talk about.
You're saying that gravity is a force that is containing the gases, but here, by the definition of your
Okay,
own pseudo,
when I say contain, what do you think I mean by contain?
You said basically like a force
I
field.
say
no one can
contain.
say
I
no
say
no no
contain
one
because so that you can understand. Because
is
I
not
operate
no
on
one
what you
can
just
say
said.
demonstrating.
Because I
Study.
operate on what you just said about Bird's law or something that talks about the containment of gas and its behavior in a gas tank. Okay,
Can you show it?
what can I show you? What am I supposed to show you?
Gravity containing gases.
Gravity itself cannot contain gases. Gravity is a force that is pulling on
But you
matter.
just said it does contain gases.
Gas is matter. Gas contains mass. Very little, usually, because it is a gas in vaporous form or something like that, and therefore it is also subject to gravity. Anything with mass has a gravitational pull, actually
Can
push. Gravity is actually a pushing force.
can you search gas pressure and see, because you like the visuals, right? And you posted that visual about gravity being a container. Can you actually
What?
search gas pressure and look at those visuals?
Wait, what should I search? Say again.
Gas pressure.
Gas, pressure, yeah.
Yeah, look at the visuals.
That's it.
Sure. Let's see what you find.
Okay, I see a bunch of containers.
Ooh, where's the container
Oh,
with the
shit.
gravity that you're talking about?
Earth is the container.
But you said gravity was the container 2 minutes ago.
Because Earth has mass, and
But
mass has gravity.
and you said gravity doesn't contain gas, so you're kind of flip-flopping here. And the outside
Okay,
of
are
the
you
outside of a ball
okay,
is
then
the
I'm
container.
going to explain this again in the
No,
simplest
no,
terms I
sorry.
can,
You don't
okay?
have to. Sorry. You don't have
Everything,
to. I'm sorry, War. You
okay,
don't have
the
to
more
explain it.
mass,
Sorry, War,
creation bear, hold
brother,
on.
real quick. 'Cause I've been listening to you, so you don't have
No,
to
no, no.
explain it. We
I don't
understand
think
the
you have
explanation.
been listening to me.
Sorry. No, I have. I just want to chime in really quickly since you've been chatting. It's not a lack of understanding. You don't have to re-explain it as if no one's ever heard this stuff before. We're looking for a demonstration at this point. So it's not a lack of understanding. We know the explanation quite well. But you did just contradict yourself. You said that gravity contains the gas, and then you said, well, actually, gravity doesn't contain the gas. The outside of the surface contains gas. Doesn't really.
Because I had to be much, much more specific with you people, because you people believe that
No,
gravity
what you need to
must be
do
this.
is provide a
Because no,
demonstration of what you're saying.
because the way you people started speaking, I literally started believing that you people might think gravity itself must be this literal wall
But you
around
just
the
said,
Earth.
War, you just said it basically is like
You're
a
claiming
force
that.
field. I mean, these are your words. We're just holding you accountable to the things
Why I
you
asked him
said.
that.
He's attaching gravity to us. He's attaching that you guys think that gravity is doing things.
When
You're
you
the one
want me to demonstrate the effects of gravity, what will you accept as evidence?
Not what you posted in the chat.
No, sure, whatever. But what will you accept?
I don't know. Maybe
Will
a
he accept
demonstration
something
of the claim
empirical,
on the table.
mathematical?
Right. The claim is that you have a gas pressure, no container, and something containing the gas. So maybe a demonstration of that claim would be pretty acceptable. So sure, if you want to do that, we'll wait.
Again, what would this evidence look like? You're saying I have to bring you something that
Your
shows
claim,
how
bro. It's your
gravity is
claim.
What?
It's your claim. So you back it up.
No, I cannot prove
why
a
do I need
claim
to help
if I
you back
don't even know the criteria for you that would accept it.
This would be like going to a judge and saying, "Well, Your Honor, I would present evidence, But you just
No,
wouldn't accept
that's
it.
literally
So
not. That's literally
present
not how
whatever
a
you
court
have.
works. In a
Present
court,
whatever you have.
in a court, you have certain standards for evidence when you do a crime.
Right,
Because,
right.
for
So you
example,
have to have
witness,
some
you
sort of
can have
evidence to begin with.
witnesses, you can have documentation, you can have video evidence. I'm literally asking, what would you accept?
Your Honor,
How?
if you have evidence, just present it. I mean, this is your case. You shouldn't
Again,
turn to the judge and say, "Well, Your Honor, I would present something, but you just, well, I don't know what you would accept." It's like, well,
would
put
you
your
accept
best foot
something
forward.
empirical? Would you accept something mathematical? What do you want
I
me to
would
bring
accept
you?
evidence of the claim. The claim being that you've got gas pressure, no container.
So you don't accept any evidence of the claim?
No. I want anything that you have, whatever you've got, put it forward. I mean, you're basically, like I said, turning to the judge and saying, "Well, I would present something, but I don't know what you would believe." It's like, well, this is your case, bro. Put your best foot forward.
Okay, how about
You
I
have
bring
multiple
you?
things. Go ahead, whatever you have. This is your case. Make the best case that you have. You shouldn't be asking me what that evidence should be, if you already have it.
Holy shit! This is the first time debating flat earthers. So
Is this the first? Is
how
this the
about?
first time you ever read the definition of gas pressure? Sounds like it.
I have still not read the definition of gas pressure because that's not what you provided.
He did provide that. Someone read it out for you. I think it was
No,
our
it's
friend.
literally me, and I read something that wasn't
I
gas
think he left
pressure.
the call,
I read
but
something out that
someone
was
else read it
Bird's
out
law,
for us.
something that he posted. What standard of evidence do you people have? Would
The
you
real
accept
level,
Same as any
like
judge or jury.
Would you accept
instead
eyewitness account?
instead the imaginary thing that you have in your brain, in your mind, that you're picturing and you're trying to explain to us. How about the demonstratable, the
How about I
verifiable, the
do?
real
How
each
about I
level
do?
stuff?
No. How about I do Bible level of evidence?
No, you don't need to do that.
Bible level.
I don't know
That's
why
not
that would verify what you're
it.
saying anyway.
No, I
Again,
think
this
it's
is
a nice way of bringing
No, it's
evidence,
not
don't you
nice.
think?
Not
which
nice.
Yeah,
is
No,
You're
would you
wait. He
disagree?
said he said nice,
yeah.
and nice means nescious, ignorant, not knowing. So why would we want your ignorant reply?
So you're saying the Bible is ignorant because its evidence is
It's
bad?
not what he said.
I mean, would you guys accept evidence similar to that
You're
of the
the one
Bible?
bringing the Bible into whatever for whatever reason.
I'm bringing in.
Listen,
I'm the only thing I'm bringing into this conversation is a standard of evidence,
well,
and
you're
I
not
thought
bringing any
I used the
evidence.
Bible standard of evidence.
Sorry, but the evidence for what you're claiming isn't in the Bible, so don't worry about
No,
that.
no. I never claimed that the Bible proves gravity or
Why would you bring it up?
ease. No, I'm claiming. I'm just saying. I'm just proposing, in fact, a standard of evidence equal to that of the Bible standard of evidence.
Okay, well,
Doesn't
would you
sound like you're
you're
very
gonna walk
good at
up
this.
you're gonna walk up to the judge with the Bible and say, "All right, judge, here's my evidence."
Nope, I never said that. Like I said, a
Well, this is the
standard of
context.
evidence.
We're
A
in a courtroom, bro.
standard and the framework of
So
evidence that is similarly
So,
used by proponents of the Bible.
so okay.
what
Let's
is the
talk about.
claim? And you brought the Bible in. Okay.
Supernatural. Let me see if I can follow real quick. So is
So
your
are you
claim
saying the
gravity?
Bible is supernatural?
Holy yeah, dude. The Bible
Ah,
was
so you say it's not, it is beyond our natural understanding. Like it is beyond nature. It cannot be proven by
Looks like
science.
Harry Potter right now to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's stuff in
basically,
the Bible. Listen, relax for a second. There's stuff in the Bible that is nature. Like a lot of the stuff having to do with Jesus and whatnot. But a lot of it has to do with supernatural claims. Burning
like for example,
bushes, parting the Red Sea. The 10 plagues put on magical stuff.
would there be an
So
issue if I
what you're
used
looking at?
magic?
No, you could use magic if you want. You can do whatever you want to do. The thing is though that Carl Sagan said it best. You
I
can
don't care
think
what
with.
Carl Sagan said.
I'm paraphrasing him because I think he said it better than I could. Carl Sagan said, "You can believe whatever you want to believe. The universe is not required to keep a straight face."
Oh, okay. So can I use the Bible level of
Okay,
evidence?
war.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
Okay,
You
great,
spent about
because I
5
am going to.
minutes tap dancing around the fact that you don't have evidence. So it's quite clear. If you would have
I
had it,
never
you
said
would
I
have
don't
just
have
put it on the table.
evidence.
Well, then what?
I'm just trying to find a
Let me
better
just say this.
framework that we can
Well,
operate on.
let me just say this.
He's
When you're
got
sitting around,
supernatural evidence.
when you're
Yeah,
sitting
like
around
the Bible.
Or
when
like
you're
Newton. Newton did too. Newton said God made it.
Yes.
I saw him earlier. He said that gravity, his God, is the container. So he's trying to bring forward gravity as the container. That's the
Do you have
supernatural that he believes in.
the eyewitness accounts that I have say that I said something else?
I want to
It's
use
good.
Harry Potter as proof.
Listen,
We've got another guy in
Wait,
here
wait,
who
wait.
does the
This
same
guy
thing.
just said Harry Potter is also proof. Now,
I want to use Harry Potter as proof because I can fly on a broom then.
can I
this is the
then
thing.
That's
For
what you're
anyone else,
telling us. You want to
someone
use
can
claiming
I
they have
tr-
evidence
level
and
as proof.
they're not
Why don't
presenting
you
it.
just show us gas pressure without a container in the form of a bubble, just like Earth would be inside a vacuum? Make one inside a vacuum for us.
I have eyewitness accounts for that.
Have you ever seen a vacuum without a container?
Actually, does video evidence count? Because we do have apostles and we do have like saints that we call
This guy's
astronauts.
trolling. He's trolling.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
is.
trolling.
I mean, folks, imagine sitting around a poker
He's
table and you
larping.
claim you have the winning hand.
Hold on, I gotta-
He's
All he's doing
trolling,
is
dude. Earth is flat.
I mean, not necessarily. That's a bit of a reach, but it's just the fact that when you claim you have the winning hand, all you need to do is put it down on the table. If you're like, well, what hand would you believe if I like the it's
Yeah, he
just
wants to
it's
go
bad
through the
faith.
whole.
He was
the whole
trying to make a
table of
basis
hands we
for
could use.
something that you guys could understand, and now you're
No,
saying he's trolling.
no,
Bro,
Paul. It's
bro,
not
we,
that at
we were
all.
talking
It's
about gas
again.
pressure, and then he
Two,
went to
can one
no, that
person
we
speak at
didn't
the
need
same time?
the
Because I'm
antecedent.
getting.
We need is gravity, and now he's saying, "Oh, we got the 12 apostles in the Bible."
That means it's globe.
That means it's a globe. That means you don't need a container for gas pressure because
Magic
the 12,
tricks.
the 12
Because of
apostles.
because of magic tricks. Because Harry Potter can fly on a broom.
I mean, I'm good with it because I would like to see where his epistemology goes with this. And
Go
just
ahead, then. Go ahead. Yep.
because it also is kind of lighthearted, and I know there's been kind of a lot of knife fighting. This might seem more like a water balloon battle, if you will.
Yo, is the flat water guy here?
Yes.
I mean, wouldn't that be everyone? Like,
Yeah,
All
I
water
know.
No,
is
flat
flat.
water.
where do you
support
see hills of
worker.
water, bro?
All water is flat. and
Flat
level.
water support worker. Or yo, space is fake guy. Are you there?
Just
Yeah.
real quick, was that Darwin that was talking about the supernatural stuff and gravity? I could talk to you offline, maybe even send you a friend request or whatever.
Yo,
I think it
space is
was.
fake guy. I want to debate you. I challenge you to a debate on space.
About what? What can you possibly have
I
to
challenge
debate?
you to a debate about space.
Go ahead. Prove it's real. You're right in the middle of the
Okay,
conversation, so now it's up to you.
all right,
Now
let me
it's up-
start. So
now
first
it's
of
up to you.
all,
Well,
yeah,
no, we're
so
gonna
first of all the footage we have of space is CGI, and we don't really have any solid evidence to say that space is real. So I conclude that space is fake. So now go ahead, prove space is real. Go ahead.
Oh, is this a
What?
burden reversal from hell? Holy smokes!
Space is not real, dude. That's my position.
I know. I agree.
You're based. I win because you agree with me.
What?
No,
Yeah,
are you talking about outer space or just
we all
space? Like,
win.
I win. Outer space. Space is fake.
They just get all bent out of shape, don't they?
it's fiction, I would say. I mean,
It's
like,
CGI.
Well, okay, so
the only
that's a
thing they took
claim
me
you're
to
making. Do you
space.
have any proof of that?
He's not with us, bro. I don't know who this guy is. So
I think he's having fun, right? Because it's kind of like trying to read.
I'm just messing around. I'm just
Yeah,
messing around.
That's all.
But I'm curious. Do you have any evidence to cite that space is fake?
Well, you'd have to understand that would
So
also be a burden
burden of proof
reversal.
is on the claimant.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we can get into
What
that,
if
but
the
it
Earth was
it
the
should
center of the
be.
universe and there was no other life?
Well, no, I'm asking you. I'm asking if you have evidence because you were the one who made the claim.
You
So the
need
burden of
evidence
proof.
to prove your claim. You're making a positive claim. X exists. If I say unicorns do not exist, there's no way for me to actually prove that technically. I can make that claim and never be able to prove it.
No, you could,
Okay,
because
so
someone would
now
ask
that
you
you
what
unicorns exist.
okay,
You can
so
point to a unicorn and say it exists.
person
no,
could
because
say.
I've never seen one.
Me pointing to a hill without a unicorn doesn't prove unicorns don't exist. Do you understand?
No, what you would look at is what
Yeah, I
features do
understand
unicorns
that.
have? Do unicorns have do they poop rainbow, like rainbow colored ice cream? And you'd be like, well, yeah. Well, do we find their poop in the wild? Well, there's in the middle of the forest, I found some sparkly rainbow unicorn poop.
I mean,
Maybe.
I've seen yellow snow, but I haven't seen anything else.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you might not be able to prove. That's what cryptozoology. There's a whole branch of science that looks for extinct or animals that they don't really have evidence for. There's a really good article just written about 2 months ago about a tiger, a type of tiger they thought was extinct. And I use a poop thing because it ties in. It's from New Zealand, a New Zealand tiger, a spotted stripe. It's got spots and stripes. One of the interesting, like half its body spotted, the other half is striped. And they somehow found poop with tracks that they said it matches what they had on record for this type of tiger that they believe has been extinct for over 100 years. So they don't have proof of the tiger, but they've got enough evidence that maybe there's a few of them still out there. Like with
Okay.
so
I
Abu,
understand
would you take
your analogy, but I want to. Someone here made a claim that space is fake, and that
So
the
let's look
burden
at the
of proof
features.
is on
Not a
them.
positive claim. It's not a
Let's look at
positive
the
claim.
features of space. What does space have as features? Like it's got a vacuum.
CGI.
I'm actually. I
Do you
was
know what a
asking the
vacuum
person.
is? Do you know what a vacuum is? Do you understand what that word means?
Yeah, it requires a chamber. But Polo,
No,
this
no,
Abu
it
guy,
doesn't.
I think he's trolling a little bit, but we can get into that a little bit more specifically. What you're
Me?
at.
I'm trolling.
No. Abu, I think he's messing around just a little bit. I mean,
No, I
we
was
we
just
can answer
messing
your question.
with the space is fake guy because I share that opinion. But no, I actually believe space is fake.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I would
Yeah,
say
historical. I would
What's a
say
positive claim, though? I don't know what that is. I'm in philosophy class, but I
Positive
haven't learned that yet.
meaning the burden of proof is on the one saying X exists. So if I say Coke bottles do not exist, right? I can make that claim if I've never seen a Coke bottle, for example. I can conclude inductively Coke bottles don't exist. However, if you say Coke bottles exist, that's a positive claim. So you must have seen a Coke bottle. You must have known something that someone else doesn't know. So you can present a Coke bottle and say, here you go, Coke bottles exist, and then you prove your claim. I cannot prove Coke bottles don't exist. I can only be disproven by someone showing a Coke bottle.
okay. Let me just pause that for a
Oh,
second.
okay, that makes sense.
Historical
But
philosopher.
I just want to add one second. I just want to add to that real quick. But we can also then look at your evidence for so-called space, like what NASA puts out, what these Indians put out just a few days ago, and we can see that it's CGI, and we can see that your so-called evidence is very weak. You know.
Oh, okay, so I'll
Yeah, so
deal
you
with you.
asked me what a vacuum, if I knew what a vacuum is,
Yes.
right?
Do you know what a
So
vacuum is?
do you
That
think I
requires a
know it
chamber.
or I don't know what a vacuum is?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
ask. I'm trying to find out if you know what the word means.
Okay, because
Because
you're not sure if I know it, right?
Yeah,
So
'cause-
you want to see if
yes.
I know it. So what if
Yes.
I told you it comes from a Latin word meaning void of matter,
Okay.
an empty space, something without anything inside it?
Well, not necessarily. It's just it's an area with not much stuff in it.
Okay, so I pass your idea there. Would it work?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay.
So yes, you know what it means.
Okay, so we could work from there as a baseline for positive communication now. That we
Yes.
both have generally the same working knowledge of what the outer space would be.
That's
Kinda
correct.
like
It's a very in layman's terms, it's just a very large area with not much in it.
Yeah, kind of like you would leave Earth and there would be a bunch of space, and then you would get to Mars or something along those lines.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. That's correct. Because a lot of flat earthers seem to think that a vacuum means a vacuum cleaner.
No, bro.
And
No one
not.
thinks that. That's
No,
just
that's from
mainstream wants you to
Spaceballs.
think that. Well, that mainstream wants you to think that we think that, but you'll never catch anyone saying stuff like that. So at least not where I'm from.
I've seen them
If,
do it many
if
times.
someone believes in like a disc in space, that's just they may as well believe in a ball. I don't care if you believe in a disc in space or a ball in space. So it's all the same
There
to
are
me.
no genuine people that believe that stuff. You have to have some discernment, historical.
Flat Earth Society, the fake thing.
Yeah,
Controlled
controlled ops.
opposition.
There's
Yeah, the
nobody
CIA.
that, oh, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Like
No one.
the main point behind flat Earth is that space is fake, and this is the universe. Like we're living on this universe. That's the main point behind flat Earth.
Okay, and do you have any evidence that space is fake, or
Well,
is
again,
that's just a claim right now?
It's not. Again, it's not a claim. It
is a claim.
No. We just covered this.
It's
If you
not
were
a
listening.
positive
If
claim.
someone claims that they have they won the lottery, that would be a positive claim. But if I'm their neighbor and I'm like, nah, he didn't win the lottery, that's not then another positive claim. No, now I have the burden of proof to prove him
Because
wrong.
he can't
Doesn't work
prove
that way.
that his neighbor didn't win the lottery. He can only be disproven.
You can
He
also
What I
cannot
could
actually
do.
like.
See, what I
but
could
you're
do is
making
look
a
at the
claim. You're
features.
saying space is fake.
No, historical.
Well,
It's not.
it's
We'll go over
specific.
this.
It
Let me
is.
just-
You don't understand
sorry,
basic
historical.
philosophy.
No.
You're
Well, you
wrong.
understand.
Yeah,
No, sorry,
space
let me
is fake, i.e., it's
I'd like
not
to-
real,
I'd
i.e.,
like to
space does not
explain.
exist. So
I'd
to
like to-
disprove me,
so
you
he's
have to
making a
say
positive
yeah, it
claim.
exists.
No, it's not a positive claim. I'll explain.
Yes, it is.
So, let me explain, please.
You're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're
I
just
understand that's your
simply
position,
wrong.
but I'd like to explain if I could a little bit further.
You can't. You're wrong.
Okay.
You're simply wrong.
That's fine. We
Thank
can
you.
prove
making-
Earth is flat, though. We can prove Earth is flat.
Listen, historical. Let's put this in a court setting, right? If I charge you with fraud, right? I now have the burden of proof. I hold the burden to make sure those charges are withheld or held up. You don't hold the burden. Only one party holds the burden at a time. So another example would be, again, my neighbor. If he claims he won the lottery, he has a positive claim. If I go, no, he didn't. I don't believe that. I don't now have a new positive claim, and now I don't hold the burden of proof. So, I'm sorry to say, you are wrong.
No.
And if you were to
He's
put yourself
making a
in a
claim
court
that
setting-
space is fake.
No,
He
no,
needs to
listen,
provide evidence for that claim.
The claim is
So
that it's
let me put
real.
some context
Not
into
real.
that.
It's a negative claim,
Let me
not
put-
real.
Let me put some context into that. You're saying what the claim in the table is that we are in a pressure system. You know, hello, someone is okay. I was echoing. So we are right now in reality, the realist level, in a pressure system, and the globe claim is that next to this pressure system there is a vacuum, right? Next to it, and the pressure from here is not going to that area, to that available volume. Because in reality, when you have a high pressure system next to a low pressure system,
But it is.
what happens? The high pressure goes to the low pressure, right?
You understand parts of Earth's atmosphere does escape into space, just not a lot of it.
Is that a claim that you got?
That's
Yeah, you can look. You can look that up anywhere in basic physics books. This is a known fact.
Well, it would have to be That's the claim. It's not a fact. It's just a claim.
It's a fact. It's been tested. I'm not going to
Sure.
debate basic
where?
scientific facts with you. I'm just
That's
not.
the whole point. If you're not able to present your case, it's not just automatically true because it's in a book. So you would have to, if it's been tested, where's the test? Let's see that.
So
'Cause what you would need to show is
therefore-
gas pressure without a
therefore
container.
high pressure doesn't go to low pressure because book.
Not quite. But
The
so
whole point
I
is
see
to
where
get
this is.
it-
You won't
it's very
accept
much in
anything.
contention. No.
You
It's
won't
very
accept
much-
anything
it's-
from any respected
No, we need a
authority. You're just going to say
demonstration.
no, it's fake, or no, that's not true.
No,
He's
we're
not
not
even
saying that.
listening.
We need a demonstration, my friend. It's if it's true, you could demonstrate it though. That's fine. It's not just true because Daddy said so.
See, what you would do is you'd also look at the features that of the object that you're looking at, like the one for the my neighbor, right? My neighbor tells me she won the lottery, and I'm like, I highly doubt that. You know, like I didn't hear about it in the news. Let's see what happens, right? And then over the course of the next couple of months, she's got like some high performance sports car, Dodge Viper, brand new, right? All decked out, customed out. I'm like, damn. The construction crew starts building a pool in their backyard, like, I mean, damn, like they adding solar panels to the top of her house. I'm like, damn, like she's got some like hot 30, 20 something year old, on her arm. I'm like, damn, I'm like, something's happening. I don't know if it's a lottery yet, but it kind of smells. It looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It looks like he's got some money, got like an influx of cash. Now, did a relative die maybe, and left her a lot of money? She just said lottery for whatever reason. See, that's what you would do. You'd look at the positive claim. So someone tells you, "I went to the moon," and you're like, "I don't think you did," because that seems like a pretty wild claim. That's an extraordinary claim. You went to the moon, did you? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, how do I know that you went to the moon? And
I got this cartoon.
Or they tell you that if they didn't, Russia would have told on them. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, I don't follow what you're trying to say.
Well, basically, what you're trying to say is, well, nope, I don't have to prove it. You have to prove it because you said I wasn't wrong. You said it wasn't true. Like that's called a burden of proof reversal fallacy. And it works in the same in a courtroom. Again, if you charge someone with charges, it's on you to prove that those charges are true. You can't have the other party. Only one party holds the burden at a time. So it's just important to understand historical. It's not if someone says no, that's not true. That's not a new positive claim, and it relinquishes you of your burden of proof. It's important to understand that.
I'm just pointing out where you can find these things. It's not my job to instruct you.
I already know. We already know the claims better than most people. It's about a lack of demonstration at this point. You say it's in a book, but it's not. It's not in reality.
But these things are done every day in universities and colleges.
Where? I mean, that's just vague. You're just saying nothing. It's true. Trust me, it's in the university. What?
Like
Where?
demonstrating
Who?
gas
How?
pressure in containers. Yeah, that stuff is done every day. You need a container for the gas pressure, right? You demonstrate that. Yeah, we can demonstrate that stuff.
The Earth
That's
is the container. The Earth is the container.
Wow.
So
gravity pushes down on the gas and keeps it where it is.
It doesn't even happen in reality.
That's why we have a pressure grid.
How
does a pressure grid work on a flat Earth exactly? Because we have one that's been measured.
That's not in contention, though, my friend.
Yeah, but how does it work on a flat Earth? If you think the Earth is flat, you'd have to appeal to magic.
Hold on, friend. Nothing changes if the Earth is flat. It still has a gradient, still has all these things.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be able to have a gradient because what causes the gradient is...
You can have.
Yes,
can
because
you have
what
a gradient
causes it is
Dude,
gravity.
Come on, seriously. Historical. Act like you're like you got all this college experience. Act like you're in a college classroom right now. Show me the. I'm not even going to test your claim. I'm just going to look for a feature. You said you're going to college. Act like you're in a college classroom right now. Let me see how you would do this.
What do you want to know?
I'm just going to observe your behavior, and just see if you act like if you're acting academic or not, or if you're just acting like some spurred out weenie troll on Discord.
Let me give you an example.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me give you an example, historical. So I'm gonna give you an analogy, right? If I claim I have a rare banana tree that grows, all the bananas grow with no peel on them, okay? And you go, okay, great, well, prove it. I want to see that, demonstrate it. Okay, and then we meet up, and I hand you a bag of slices of banana. Would that be acceptable proof of my claim?
No.
Okay, great. So neither is you handing me slices of the atmosphere and saying, well, here, this proves that we don't have a container. So you pointing at the gradient is not proof, just like handing me a bag of slices of banana isn't proving that it came from no peel. Basically, what they're claiming is the Earth is a banana with no peel. So you giving me little slices of the atmosphere does not prove that the claim being there is no container. So, sorry.
But you're not willing to prove that there is one.
Again, that's
because
a burden
the
of proof
overwhelming
reversal fallacy.
the overwhelming preponderance in science is that the Earth is a globe.
Right.
So
But
if you're going to
again,
go against that, you need to provide evidence for that,
no, it's
and
a
not
burden
just
of reversal.
and not
fallacy.
just.
We just covered
There's no.
this.
By the way, there's no such thing as that.
Preponder of the evidence
Wait,
does not
wait,
say
wait,
mere
hold on.
false, sir.
Did you just say there's no such thing as a burden of proof reversal fallacy?
Where's the preponderance of evidence in the scientific method?
I wanted to bring that up. Like, what sad state of affairs are we in where you're not having to educate these kids on flat Earth versus globe. You're having to educate them on the basics, the fundamentals of logic and scientific method. They don't even know it.
Who the
Fuck it.
Glover? We know.
For me, that's a pretty big part of it all.
Yeah, that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves is we spend like majority of our time educating people and we don't even get into like the
Yep.
specifics of FE, which is like no one's even learning this stuff because we're having to re-educate people. And this guy came in like, oh, I studied philosophy. Okay, well, how are you going to say that burden of proof reversal fallacy is made up, bro? Like that's crazy. So no other champions. Where'd everybody go?
He left. Wow.
Yeah, he left. I think it's too when you get the guys who are they claim college and higher education and whatnot, and then they'll start calling you like a flurman, a flat Earth vermin, or like a flurfer, like they call you a zoo animal. They're here to mock and laugh at you. And I'm like, do you think that would fly? Even through orientation, just go to college orientation, walk up to the orientation, say you're here to call people vermin who disagree with you. They'll escort you off the premises, man. Can't deny. Even whatever anyone's identity, you have to respect identity. They call it a safe space in college. The college campus is a safe space. All people, all identities are welcome. If you disrupt that, they will remove you from the campus. And then you got these guys talking about, I've got a doctorate degree in astrophysics. I go, motherfucker, you wouldn't even make it through orientation. You're dehumanizing people based off wrong thing and calling them vermin. You would not even make it through the front door.
Indeed, some ideas are so dangerous that people should be exterminated for having them. I think I've heard that quote before.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, talk about like yeah, not to really go into that topic, but now that is a dangerous idea that they can dehumanize other people and eradicate them based off wrong thing. That ideology was defeated 6 years ago. Let's not rehash that. Or 80. Bad at math.
So I'm still waiting for a mutual exclusion between a flat Earth and a globe Earth while simultaneously having things go up and down. I don't know. Now, someone could say, oh, well, my worldview has these principles in it. So tell me how my worldview works in your worldview. Be like, well, if my worldview is true, your worldview is false. And therefore, your worldview don't fit in my worldview. How can I account for my worldview using your worldview? Makes no sense.
And you give them an out. You basically say the globe model has ways to deal with disagreement. Use that. And they can't. So they're the ones denying their own model. Because either it's a problem with them or it's a problem with the globe model. Because the globe model offers thousands of explanations on how to deal with disagreement. It's built in. You can ask experts in the globe and get 15 different answers, 15 different experts, 15 different answers, all of them disagreeing with each other, but using the model to explain their individual part of it. And yet somehow this anti-flat earth globalist cannot use a globe model to deal with disagreement. They're broken. Their worldview is that bad that they're denying their own science and then calling you the science denier.
Crit, Are you did you mute the Brit guy, Brit Finn fan, whatever?
Just unmute him.
Yeah,
He's been muted for a while.
Yeah, he's probably good. I don't remember if I did or not, but
Hello, I'm back. So a lot was said. A lot was said in the last few minutes. That I guess I took more issue with Creation Bear, but I think he was agreeing with someone that he had to re-educate people on science. Right now, I'm no physicist. I don't base my belief on there being a round Earth over some other model based on some sort of comprehensive idea of physics. But I think it's usually just based off the simple idea, and that's just that. Look, whether on a planet, whether what we observe when we send people into space and so on, we collect evidence, right? And it points in a direction, even if it's just not a picture. Maybe you don't accept pictures or whatever, right? That's fine. We construct a model of the universe, and it seems to work well for how we explain phenomena, whether it be the smallest thing or the largest celestial object. Now, that works for me. I'm persuaded by that. All I would ask for from you guys is to say, like, okay, well, look, prove to me there's another model out there that might just explain the phenomena of the natural world better. If you can do that, I'm on board. But until that day comes, I reserve my judgment.
Criteria that we don't have to meet your personal criteria. There is no model. Okay, we're just simply dealing with the Earth outside. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's say I grow in my backyard. I've got grapes. I make wine. And you come over and you're like, no, bro, I need to see a label. I want to see a colorful label. And I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need to represent the wine via a label for you. We're simply dealing with the actual experience in the bottle. So how does that relate to the Earth? We don't need to give you a model when we're talking about the actual Earth itself, the actual experience outside. So we're testing the surface of the Earth. So there's no need for these little Hot Wheels. And well, if you make me a model, there's no need for that. Just like you don't need to make a label on a bottle. I could just give you a bottle with wine in it that I grew in my backyard. It's the same exact thing. So go outside, test the Earth, and that's what it is. The Earth presents itself to us, and we can go out into the field and test it. You don't need a model, bro.
Well, look, I would suggest that you would need a model, right? Just based on the idea that if I have a model where, let's say, the Earth is spherical, and these forces and other things that play a role into other phenomena, which are directly related for why we'd observe these sort of things from the Earth and what that might mean for other celestial objects moving around in the sky. I think models work pretty well for that. In fact, that's why we had to develop models to begin with, because we were seeing all these phenomena, but we weren't able to coherently tie them all together. That's what a model does. It just ties physical models together, physical phenomena together in a way that in a way that we can relate them to one another. So yes, there is a standard here, right? When I say that you need to supply something more persuasive, an alternative model, the reason why I say that is because if you just have these abstract different things that you can't explain the phenomena or how they tie together, you just think they're individually spontaneous, right? Well, I mean, that might be sufficient for you, but for some of us, right, we do have a higher standard of proof. We're patent in fact, just to wrap up. I think, right, most people in this room, except for the flat earthers, are patent seeking humans, right? We're the best of our genetic makeup, right? And the rest of you, right, lack that patent seeking ability where you can't tie things together.
No, I would say you have a lower standard, right? You'll see space selfies and go, "Yep, that's it. I'm done." It's like a Bigfoot believer seeing a video of a Bigfoot and they're like, "Yep, that's it. We're done here." Go ahead, AI. I've got one more thing, but go ahead, AI.
The idea that the things in the sky are distant objects in free space, right? And they operate under the fundamental forces of creation or sustainment that operate here is a uniformitarian philosophical assumption. Okay, it's not a burden of proof or a standard of proof that one adopts.
I didn't say it was.
Well, earlier you did.
No, I said no. There are proofs, right? But that's separate from saying that models are necessary, right? There are proofs. AI. There are proofs about why the Earth might be spherical, but that phenomenon is tied together with other things, right? So that's where our model becomes important.
You're looking out making assumption about what everything is, and then trying to make one cohesive view of it all. Right? That's where you're setting up.
When you say one cohesive view, what do you mean? Do you think a model is a one cohesive view?
Okay, this is what you said. You said that all of these phenomena have to be tied together in their model coherently. And that's your standard of proof.
No. Okay. A standard. The
That's what
idea.
you said, brother. In fact, you did it in a different. No, bro.
There can be models that are false, right?
Dude, who cares, dude?
Yeah, there could be models that are false,
Okay,
right?
it's
There can
my
be
turn, bro.
inaccurate
It's
models.
my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. Not only did you say that was your burden, but you made it in a way which was condescending to other people, that you have a higher standard because you decide that everything has to be cohesive and coherent together, that you have a higher standard than other people.
I am smarter than you, yes, but that wasn't what I was suggesting. The
Yeah,
idea
sure you are.
is.
Hold on. I can test that. Real quick. This guy still thinks the toilet flush proves the Earth is rotating.
Okay, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in just a second.
Let's ask you a question, friend.
I'll get
Let me
to
ask
that
you
in
a
just a
question.
second. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me just
Yeah.
respond. Let me just respond to the first thing.
Yeah, hurry up.
The idea
Hurry up.
that a model is proof in and of itself is obviously not what I was suggesting. That was just you not following. A model is supposed.
Oh, that was
a
just
model is
you
supposed
trying
to
to put
tie
other people
phenomena
down and
together.
getting called for it. That's all.
A phenomena tying it together. Now you could produce a model, right? It could be incorrect. It could be more correct. Now the idea is you compare it against reality and what we observe. If you can't produce any sort of model, then why the hell would anyone find you persuasive at all? All you're doing is just being brain masturbating intellectual skeptics that think you know anything about
That's
science.
assuming that this model is the necessary arbiter of the proposition. That's the problem. Okay, so let's break it down to its base arbitrational point, which is the actual only one that matters. Okay, the only contingent necessity that matters, which is sufficient to destroy the entire proposition, is demonstrable surface curvature. Now, I'm going to say this is a proposition, which is a conditional if, so you don't have to take it personal and be like, no, it's not. Right? So if it's demonstrated, right, by measurement that the Earth is flat, then it would be flat, regardless of any other interpretation. If it's demonstrated that the Earth is curved in itself, then it would be curved. So if either one of those is demonstrated, then that conditional if is sufficient. So if you go out to the Earth and measure it to be flat, then all this model that's an interpretation of the phenomenon that requires a globe would be automatically false.
So there's the reason why I call it a model and the reason why it's important to identify it as such is because there are things that aren't necessarily indicative, right? Like it's on its own of a curvature Earth, but when you compare it with other phenomena, it is. Just because I don't want to miss what Crit said, because I feel like it would be wrong for me to not respond to him, right? Crit, I asked you the question, right? Which was just to say that there was one phenomenon in particular which I find quite interesting, which is one, if you're standing on one side of the equator and the other side of the equator, or on the equator, when you pour water down a sink, it will fall in three separate sorts of ways. If you're falling on one side, water will trickle down a sink on one side. If you're on the other side of the equator, it'll fall down the other side. And if you're on the equator, it'll fall straight down, right? No swirling around, it'll go straight down. Another interesting thing is that if anyone tries to walk straight across the equator, which people do, they'll fall on one side of the equator.
Dude, you saw that on TikTok. This has been debunked so long ago. This is like we're jumping in a time capsule.
What's the debunking creation? Explain.
Doesn't even. Okay. Holy.
Remember, this is a framework. This guy is much smarter than you. Okay.
No, I'm not smart.
Okay, listen,
I'm not a
Rick.
physicist. I'm not a physicist by any stretch of the imagination. My area would be more of what follows. So, like for instance, when you talk about
Let's try to address what you said. Okay, you've been waffling on for quite a while. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you, but just hold on a second. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
This is I don't know how much you've had a conversation about this before, but like not even the people that we debate against heavily, they don't bring this stuff up because it's been thoroughly like.
Well, explain the debunking then. Get to it.
Well, but what is the proof that you have? Like, what is it? What are you standing on besides something you saw like on TikTok? Because that was the last time I saw it was on TikTok. These guys saying, "Oh, look, I tripped over to the left side at the equator, therefore, like that."
Name it. Well, I don't have TikTok, so that must be a you thing. But
You
yes,
know,
it is a
I
real
mean,
thing.
you
But
obviously
you
saw
said
it on
it was debunked. I'd like you to
No, but
explain
what
how.
is what is the support? And besides,
Oh,
you
you can
just
watch a
saw it
video
on
of
the
it. You can
internet.
watch a video of it.
I
But I guess
know.
you think the video is fake, so debunk it for me.
Holy smokes, dude! I'm not just saying the video is fake, but obviously, if you walk along a path and you trip to the left side, and you saw that on YouTube or whatever, like that's all you have to go on. Is people just tripped on one side, and that's good enough for you?
Yeah, but look, people fall over. But why do people fall over when they try to walk across the equator more so than if they
No,
would just
maybe
walk in a
because
straight
they're
line anywhere
easily
else?
convinced, like you. Like some people are very easily gullible. Like they go on a plane and like, yep, yeah, I saw the curve when not even
No,
people
that's not.
who
You're not debunking
hold
anything,
on,
Creation
sir.
Bear.
Hold on, sir. What I'm trying to say is even the genuine hardcore people that actually believe in what you believe don't say this because they know it's not proof. It's not even true.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll put that to one side because you're not debunking it. You're just saying it's not true.
Well, okay, but hold
I
on,
just want to
Britt.
respond to
But
Crit
Britt,
because
you're not supporting yourself with anything. I don't have to really walk something. You're not really standing on anything solid. You're just saying I saw a video, people
Well,
fell.
yeah, let me
Boom, I'm done.
let me categorize that for a second. At best, at the present moment, it's an anecdotal claim. So when you bring that up to something more than that, then he could think of debunking. For now, he can just dismiss it.
Yeah, there's really nothing to stand on. And besides, from my understanding, it's the makeup of the sink itself plays a factor. The way you pour it into the sink has something to do with it. But I think that the thing of people falling is just like gullibility. You'll get people who go up in a plane and go, "Yeah, I saw the curve," like, or in a building, "Yeah, I saw it." Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I can make up an alternate
hypothesis.
hypothesis on the fly, brother. Right? So you have systems in your body that help you stabilize yourself, right? And your body is electrochemical, right? So maybe there's just a flux in the Earth's magnetic field or something that just causes your system to be a little out of whack around the equator because the equator has a different energy state. So why is my anecdote not any more valid than yours?
I mean, this is so 2015, bro. Like, not even the people who are hardcore into this topic trying to go against us. They don't use that stuff because they know it's not true. Like, it's garbage. So I don't know. I'm surprised to see people using this argument in 2023. Like, that's wild.
Well, hey, what's up? I'm the mathematician. I was speaking yesterday, but I had to leave. So we were having a discussion specifically about like the right triangles that flat earthers use.
And
You
you
want
haven't
to
done
continue
it
that
yet,
discussion?
remember? We've been waiting for you to do the math on it.
Oh
Wait.
no, I did the. We were talking about like building.
Yeah, how about we segue into that? What's your take on the flush? Does a toilet flush prove the Earth is rotating, or would you call that
Does the
stupid?
toilet?
Yeah, could you flush your toilet to prove the Earth is rotating?
No.
There you go, Britt.
Okay, there we go. Let's go with the mathematician now. You're debunked, Britt. Better luck next model.
Yeah, I mean that, dude. We need to. It's like we just went back to 2015 with that one. That's wild.
I know, it was glorious. When I was having this text chat, I'm like, is this guy like a sock fucking with me? You know, like, this has got to be someone I know, like playing around.
I want to address one more thing before we get into the triangles. Did that other guy leave? But
No,
it's
he's
not
here.
okay. It's not exclusive to this group. He's saying I'm low IQ. Oh, you're in the chat like, oh, you're scared. You're a low IQ. The stuff doesn't work, bro. I mean, even what you just said is doesn't work. This is so like 2015. This is 2023 now, bro. So that type of stuff doesn't work. Anyway, to the triangles guy, it's not exclusive. People using triangles, it's not exclusive to this group of people. And then for Brit. In terms of the model thing, like another analogy I like to use sometimes is like, maybe you've gone to a nice Thanksgiving with people. Essentially, what you're asking for is a menu. I need a menu. What do you need a menu for? Everything that you need is right in front of you. The menu isn't the meal. The map isn't the terrain. The model isn't the thing. What you're trying to do is eat the menu drive a Hot Wheels, and live on a map. None of those things are. You don't need any of that. So what we're telling you is to forget the menu. Obviously, you can't eat it. Why don't you just focus on the actual experience, the food right in front of you, the earth outside? So you don't need a model. That's what we're trying to help you understand.
So his dilemma with the right triangle was only this: he can't do the black swan because the camera's 1 foot off the water.
So let's get into the triangles because that's way better than this guy and his flushing toilets.
I knew he'd run away as soon as he knew I was on here.
He has to be. He has to be unmuted to say, "I'm the smartest guy here. You guys, below me."
Well, he can stay triggered in the chat. It's fine until he figures out that this is not 2015 anymore.
Well, look, the appropriate response to the arbitrational point is direct surface measurement, is to provide a direct surface measurement, not to say that some people report that they fall over when they walk in a certain area. Mike, hey, Joe Biden fell over trying to get to the White House, therefore the Earth's a globe.
No, the Earth is at the equator. The White House is at the equator.
Yeah.
That's proof.
Oh, so anyway, so there's supposedly a guy with over a 200 IQ who is a quote unquote flat earther, but not in the traditional sense. And he has models of a toroidal system, right? Which are pretty good. But they either way, when you map the toroid shape of the Earth's field on like a semblance of a flat Earth map, you get a ring in the center where all the energies converge or diverge or absent, right? And so that's just as equally plausible as you why you fall over. It would be like people fall over, therefore Earth grows. Also simultaneously holding the proposition that he's the smartest person. I don't know why you even bring that up.
It's like one of those jokes where you can tell how curved it is by how flat it looks. You can tell how smart this guy is by how dumb he articulates his points of view.
But why is it that globe proponents have a tendency to talk about things like that or things in the sky or try to incorporate space and creative forces into whether an object is curved or not? Why can't you just come and just be like, look, the Earth is clearly curved. Here's an example of a direct measurement of the curvature.
Shoot, I keep forgetting about push to talk, but like the last guy in war, his whole thing was like, well, what evidence do you want me to present? It's like, well, whatever you have, dude. What do you mean? It's like you're in front of a judge and jury. Put your best foot forward. Make your best case. You shouldn't be asking the judge like, well, I don't know what I should show you. It's like, well, show us what you got, bruh. What you talking about? And Britt, yeah, go watch that video. Since we're such cowards. So there's your debunk for you. Enjoy. Oh, and by the way, those aren't flat earthers. So yeah, rest in peace. Damn, it got quiet in here. So I guess W flat earth.
Now you're all wrong. The Earth is inverted. There's just a black hole in the very middle of the universe. Up in the sky.
Let's not make it weird. Okay. People have all these extra ideas they try to pin onto, it's like pin the tail on the donkey. It's like that's not what we do here.
It's what the other thing is, if it's not a globe, it's something else other than just a flat Earth.
Like books. Sometimes I want to sit with a book, but you don't read. As a comedian, I know what funny is, but I also know what isn't. Like using the term OCD is a joke. Imagining having unwanted thoughts stuck in your head, no matter how hard you try to make them go away.
We shouldn't be able to be hearing your TV right now, Broken Globe.
Oh well.
So what up, X? What did you think of our recent conversation? How long have you been here? Oh, you quiet now. I don't want to talk about black holes and all this stuff.
Oh man, did that one guy want to talk or not?
If the Earth is flat, then why when I go to space it's round?
Because round and flat aren't mutually exclusive, and you've never been to space.
The Earth is a globe when I go to space.
Say
Why
what?
is that? Why is it that when I fly and I go to space, the Earth is a globe? It looks round.
That's because the only time you've ever been to space is in a video game, and yes, in the video game it's rendered
You
as a globe.
you
So there you
sound
go.
like you have an Android. You have to lower your Yeah, what did you say?
The only time you've ever been to space is in a video game. So whatever that shows you isn't reality
That's not funny,
necessarily.
bro. That's not funny. I know you're like 43 years old and you kind of hate your children.
Fucking hell. Help. Can't help.
You're out of school, bro? Are you like in recess or something? Lunchtime? Does your teacher knows that you're in Discord? Hey, little child. You
He's
know you're not supposed to be in Discord.
He's gone. He's gone.
Gone. Long time ago. He bolted as soon as he got the mute.
Oh man, so bored. Dude, I may have to become a concave earther just to keep things exciting.
That's even worse than the globe. Come on.
It's been going like this since 8 o'clock this morning, Eastern time.
Oh yeah, man. The bunch of the amount of traffic we get here is good. Been going all day.
Based on the globers, you could be an alt-shape earther because you can see they say round, sphere, oblate spheroid, pear-shaped. Then they show the evidence, and it might be horizontal, concave, convex. It's like all of the shapes. All shapes earther. Just unmute some of the guys. Come on, guys.
What happened?
We are looking for the globe evidence.
Your microphone is really low, Quetzalcoatl.
How dare you?
So is that it for the globe proof for a while? I mean, they were coming in 2s and 3s with all that proof and dropping out just as fast.
Well, at least they try to cope with their beliefs, so gotta give it to them.
What proof? I didn't see any.
Huh? I didn't hear you. You cut it out when you spoke there. It's been a long day. Globies.
I like that people specifically join this server to come to this room. We're even bringing them traffic too.
Oh, hey, what's up, Broken? It's been a long time.
Oh, passport.
Yeah, what's up, man?
First
I
time
guess it
seeing you.
was a different name though.
Oh, you had a different name. Okay.
So, like, which 24/7 server did you come from?
The 24/7 Flat Earth Discord server. You can Google it.
Still there.
You sure? There's like 3 or 4 of them, so I was wondering.
No, there's not.
You sure?
No, it's named 24/7.
Yeah, no, there's
Flat
like
Earth
3 of them.
Discord server. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like 3 of those.
2.0.
Flat-
2.0.
Okay, here, how's this? Discord.gg/flat earth, the flat earth server.
Oh, okay, the flat Earth server. All right, hold on.
Yeah, when I said
All right,
I meant
but
the only one.
hold on, hold
I thought
on.
you were coming from like the Icewall server, like a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, fair. But we got to correct these slackers. The title is 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0.
Oh
sir.
yes, it's like there we go. That's what I was
2.0,
talking
yeah.
about. After the first one got cooed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, misfortune.
Yeah, using TOS to become a server owner. Yikes. I remember that very well.
So you've been around the show for quite a while, I guess?
A couple years ago, I gave up after a while though.
You gave up finding the globe evidence, or?
No, it was mostly just like getting muted for explaining like how rockets work. It was kind of weird.
How rockets work? Okay.
Yeah. Or like I got muted once for saying like nuclear bombs were real. I remember that happening.
That's crazy.
But
Crazy you think that way.
How dare you?
Like what are you doing here though? Is my question.
Just came to spread the good news, taking it on the road like a little road trip here. It seems like it works out great. We're
yeah.
just bringing
Branching
tons
out.
of people in this server right into this room. Just sucks them right in.
Well, Darth Dawkins isn't around very much anymore, I'd imagine.
I don't know what that is.
Good. Anyway.
All right, can we at least all agree that whether or not rockets go vroom vroom is not
go
logically
vroom, vroom.
contingent? Yes, but let's all agree that it's not logically contingent on the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, like I don't remember that being the claim.
I still want to know how.
Well, I mean, that's not.
flat
I mean,
earthers explain
go ahead, brother.
gravity. What is gravity, bro? How does gravity work on a flat plane? Is it just like, yeah? How does that work?
Well, first you have to define what you mean by gravity.
Well, like what every other scholar and scientist and everyone else on the fucking planet defines as gravity.
Oh, that's not even true. There's no consensus that's ubiquitous across all parties that are involved in any endeavor everywhere that agree on what gravity is. For example,
Well,
there's an electrical theory of gravity, there's a space-time theory of gravity, and the list goes on.
Well, we've got such a good theory of gravity that we can send thousands of satellites into the orbit of the Earth. And also, we can orbit other planets. We can land a spacecraft on
Yes,
Mars.
we. Yep, we. Yeah. The ubiquitous we.
Yeah, the human race.
The human race. And so the human race did something together.
Well, the mathematics all make sense.
Ah, there's the key. So you have a mathematical construct that makes sense.
Yes.
Good. That's great.
Okay, so now you have to tell me. I asked you, how does gravity work on a flat Earth?
You didn't answer him. He asked what gravity.
Yeah, see, I can't tell you how a interpretation of gravity that requires a globe would work on a flat Earth.
There's not really an interpretation of like gravity if we have a working model of gravity so far as in companies spending billions of dollars sending satellites into orbit. This takes a lot of mathematics. It takes obviously the trajectory the force, the amount of force needed to leave the Earth's atmosphere, and also the angle.
Okay,
So
that's
that
great.
we know that
None of what you said, right? True, but none of what you said is getting to the fundamentals of what gravity is. It's just saying how you calculate the practical effects. So if you're asking how do you calculate the practical effects if the Earth is flat, I mean they're the practical effects. Just do it the exact same way.
So with the Earth, obviously, we know that gravity is a product of the mass, right? Of the Earth. The center
Exactly. Well,
mass.
that's a claim,
Yeah.
sure. We know that that's a claim.
Yes, but all of the physics and the mathematics are consistent with, well, they call
With
it the
a
general
mathematical
theory of
interpretation.
relativity, but it's not really a theory because it works. Einstein
Okay,
even predicted
so
Einstein predicted the gravitational waves, and they scientists constructed a not a mechanism. It was fuck.
yeah, they corrected a bid structure that was allegedly going to sense one of these waves, right?
Yes, and they did.
Okay, so they claimed they did, correct? That's all you know. They claimed they did. That's what you
Okay.
know. That's
Yes,
your knowledge of the situation. They claimed that they did it. So you,
that's true.
knowing that they claimed that they did it, then go out and say they did it. So now it behooves you, since you're bearing the burden of the positive assertion that they definitely did it, to prove on their behalf how they did it and validate it.
Okay, okay. Let me ask something a
Well,
little bit
we'll just
more
stop for 1 second.
simple.
Stop for 1 second and
Let
let
me
me
ask
say something to
something a
you.
bit more
No, no,
simple.
no,
Um,
no, no, no.
okay,
Let me
okay.
answer you on that. Okay. So my rebuttal to that would be very simple. So the facility in question is actually up for funding review because they had no tangible results to demonstrate to anybody. Now the machine needs electricity, right? And they have transformers and all these things. Now there's a product of transformers interactions, which is called mains hum, which is like the electrical reverberation in the system.
What
Now the
machine are
parts
you
that
talking about? The one that
has,
measures space-time or the gravitational
no,
waves?
this whole machine, I believe it's called LIGO. But anyway, I'm just going quick here, right? Because you made a claim, right? So I should be able to make a free claim, right? So
Yeah, you can do it.
this
You want
electrical,
to.
yeah, exactly. This electrical interference, right, is actually orders of magnitude greater than the alleged gravitational wave. So I submit to you that what they did is they just ran their machine ad infinitum until they recognized the pattern that they predicted out of the chaos and just said this is a gravitational wave and then submitted refunding for their endeavors.
Okay, and the so I don't know if you know if you've seen that very famous Hubble telescope image of the gravitational lensing. It's a deep space photograph, uh, and you could see light bending around like black holes and other objects. Have you seen that photograph?
Oh, your
Once you provide it.
gravitational lensing?
Yeah,
Go ahead and
gravitational
post
lensing.
that
Yes.
for him to look. Yeah, go ahead and post that crazy photoshopped image for us to look at.
Okay, I'll find it now.
Yeah, so how did Hubble trace the source all the way from the source to the reception point to verify its path in free space? I'll give you a hint. They couldn't. Oh man. The one on the street. It's blocked off another block. So
So, but I'm still trying to understand how gravity works on a flat Earth.
okay, so very simple. So when you pick something up and you let it go and it's more dense than the surrounding media, right? It displaces it and heads towards the ground, correct?
Uh, I'm not sure about that. I think there's if you stand on top of a building and you have a marble and a bowling ball and you drop it, I think they hit the ground at the same time.
Okay, what did that have anything to do with what I just said? So that would just prove that the feather is more dense than the surrounding supporting media, right? Same with the bowling ball, right? Otherwise they would go up, right? I mean, yes, no, maybe so. Wow. So we got to talk about gravitational lensing, bro. But the simple phenomenon of up and down can't be discussed like a simple yes and no's.
Yep.
This is why you don't get answers to your questions, Trevor. Because you want far-fetched sci-fi that has to deal with the deep reaches of space rather than what's tangibly happening on the ground, brother. I'll submit to you that your head is in the clouds and not on the ground.
So wait, are you suggesting that believing that the Earth is a sphere is sci-fi, and that a flat Earth is not sci-fi?
Still didn't answer your question, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. So flat Earth is so intrinsic to the human condition that it's actually psychologically studied in youth. That youth, like we all know, believe that they experience the Earth as flat and stationary, and they present themselves as if that's the way it is. They believe this until they're told otherwise. They then develop a dual Earth theory where they simultaneously believe that the local Earth is flat, but if you get far enough away from it, it transforms into a ball. So the truth of the matter is that the proposition that the Earth is a globe is the extraneous claim. The natural tendency of humans is to experience the Earth as flat and stationary. And on top of that, to experience down as up and down everywhere we go. We drop something, it falls. We let go of a helium balloon, it goes up. So up and down is on the vertical axis. The vertical axis is perpendicular to the horizontal axis. And if down is down everywhere I go and up is up everywhere I go, and that's perpendicular to horizontal, then that means everywhere I go is horizontal to itself consistently, which means we live in a horizontal plane. That seems pretty rational to me. Not much science fiction there. Now, what does sound like science fiction is that space and time are warping, right? Space and time are warping and creating motion. That sounds like sci-fi. If I had to pick which one sounds like sci-fi, I think that one would be the one that sounds like sci-fi.
I think you might have a misconception of how space-time, the fabric of space works. Haven't you seen like those models where they have like a stretched out piece of cloth and then they have like a bowling ball in the middle and then they take like
Absolutely.
golf balls or pool balls, and
Yeah,
then
absolutely,
they
brother.
throw them around, and then they.
I've seen it. I've seen it, bro.
You've seen those, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. So I want to ask you this question: what is the cause of the
Oh, there we
motion?
go. Someone posted that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to ask you a question. In that demonstration, what's the cause of the motion?
Well, a ripple in space-time,
No. What's the
gravitational.
cause of the motion? What's the cause of the motion in the demonstration is creating an inclined plane, which already assumes up and down, which just proves my earlier point that all we experience is up and down. So thank you for proving that up and down, perpendicular to horizontal, we live in a horizontal plane. I rest my case.
Finally got him to do it.
But you do understand that, like that demonstration on a piece of cloth is not three-dimensional space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you find a demonstration that gives the same motion effect in 3 dimensions, in all axes, let's just say 6 axes, when you find that demonstration, by all means, demonstrate it. Until then, what you have is demonstrations ad infinitum of up and down, like we all experience everywhere we go. Okay, you can have a cool math formula, you can have a cool graphic in a computer program. What you don't have is practical demonstration in reality.
What do? We've sent didn't America sent like a space probe? It's out of actually it's I think it's out of the solar system at this point. It's taken photographs of planets, and um, we can actually exactly, probably by the minute, predict where planets will be at any given time using this sort of mathematics.
But it's not 100% precise. And if you're saying accuracy proves anything, well, epic cycles used to do that, and epicycles were based on the idea of a horizontal plane. So if you're saying predictive capabilities prove something, well, then why would you throw out epicycles and accept your heliocentric view?
Okay, so is Mars also flat?
Irrespective. Now, it's valid for you to ask that,
And
but I'll submit to you that
the sun is the sun just like a light that's being shone on us, like we're in a terrarium or something like that? And there's
no, dude,
some.
the sun most certainly appears to be a light. Okay. Other than that, I've never been there, so I couldn't tell you. Now, I
So
submit to you that earlier I asked you, like I said, your head seems to be trying to derive the Earth from things that are above the Earth, like the sky, the clouds, the planets, forces that are way out there in the distant space. And I told you you're ignoring the ground, and you just keep doing it every time. I don't know why. It's just weird. It's almost like there's this pre-programmed bias based on the modern education system that everybody asks these questions in that manner.
Well, I think I have a kind of a sense of the scale of the Earth. So if I stand in the middle of a desert and I look out, it's going to look flat to me because that desert in scale to the planet is tiny.
Actually, you
And
meant to
I'm
say
even
that you have a
too.
nonsensical belief of the scale of the Earth because you haven't verified that with any of your senses. So you misspoke there, sir. You're saying senses, but actually it's actual nonsense. Just to let you know.
nonsense. I'm saying that if I go and I put it in the middle of the ocean, for example, and I look out, it looks like a flat plane, right?
Yes, listen, this is the common human experience. We all experience the Earth as flat and stationary. So to
Yeah.
say I experience it flat and stationary, but it's a globe, the globe is then the extraordinary claim because it's contradictory to your experience.
Well, if you're just taking your personal experience, I mean, let's say you are 6 foot tall, and we take the size of the fucking planet, and you stand on the flattest
I mean,
plane
that's great,
imaginable.
dude.
There would be a salt plain, for example,
Yeah, sure,
or in the middle
absolutely.
of a large lake that you can't even see the trees. Have you had this experience where you were at the edge of a lake that is so large that you cannot even see the other side of a lake? And I'm not even talking about an ocean. I'm talking about a lake.
Yeah, sure, but the
Yeah.
thing is that I
And even if you
experienced.
take out even if you take out a telescope, you still cannot see the trees and the things on the other side of the lake because the lake is so massive that it obscures the objects, the trees, the houses, the buildings, whatever it may be, on the other side because of the curvature of the earth.
Well, I mean, that's a claim. You're basically arguing I can't see the curvature, but I can't see something in the distance. Therefore, curvature that I can't see is real. So it's kind of like me when I say, okay, I have a supermodel girlfriend and she's very busy. How do you know I have a supermodel girlfriend? Well, she's not here because she's so busy. Therefore, I have a supermodel girlfriend. See the problem? You're arguing
Yeah, the
absences, not
problem is that
positive.
you're making false dichotomies that don't make any sense.
Dude, that's not a dichotomy. It's called an analogy. You're arguing for the presence of something by arguing for the absence of it. Even the argument I can't see the thing because it's obscured by the curvature of the earth is begging the question. It's an affirming the consequent fallacy in formal logic. It's fallacious reasoning. It can't bear the conclusion through a logical necessity. Now, that doesn't exclude it from being an option. Affirming the consequent could be possible that the conclusion is true, but it's not necessarily true. So then you need more. You need more than that. Maybe like go out to the lake in question and measure the thing.
That okay. I want to just ask you this then. Why? Like, why would so do you think that this like the round earth theory or whatever, like the spherical earth theory, why would that be some sort of a why would that have to be? I mean, what's the purpose of that? Oh,
Okay,
is it to just
fair
like
question.
fool
Fair question.
people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fair question. But I just want to submit to you for your own personal enlightenment that I gave you the correct answer to the proposition, which is you think the lake's curved, I'm telling you it's flat, and then I offered you an arbitrational method, which is not a logical fallacy, which is just to measure the thing. And rather than focus on, okay, let's just measure it and talk about that, you immediately talked about sociological implications. So I'm talking about the merits of the measurements, the logistical facts. You're talking about sociological implications that I would have to use divining powers to come up with the answer. Now, I could speculate the answer, but I could never go into the human soul and find out why people do what they do, right? But I could measure something. So I just want to submit that to you for your own thinking to ponder on why the measurement is not the key factor.
Okay, I accept that, but I would like to know what do you think is why would do you think it's the government that is trying to fool us into believing something, or is it Satanism, or what is it? Why is
You
it
could put,
evil to live on a sphere?
well, let's put it this way. Let's just use this proposition. If, right, the earth is flat, and if space is not what they told you it is, then that changes your perception of yourself in relationship to the world, where you come from and where you're going, and your position in the world. It also has metaphysical implications that have to do with ideas like being creative, being accountable to a creator, these types of things. Very heavy and impactful moral complications, right? The meaning of life itself, all of those big weighty issues that are actually more important than any other type of issue. Because if it's the case that you're actually beholden to an arbitrational source that is the judge and ruler of the universe, then that would matter exquisitely. Now, you might say, oh, but that, well, most people believe in the globe and they also believe in religions. Now, that could be true, but there could be something even more subtle. So, where you give a person a lie, but has enough plausibility and enough poison in it. So, yeah, you could argue that, you know, a higher being that's an evil natured being is working on deceiving the world. Now, there's many ancient religions that posit that idea. Now, you might say, oh, well, it's stupid because the idea that God created the universe or that beings of this type exist is ridiculous, you might say. But guess what? If you're up on your latest physics lectures and where emerging physics studies is going, they're moving towards essentially subjective idealism, and consciousness is the base unit of reality, not matter and energy. So matter and energy are derivatives of consciousness. And it requires a sentient agent in the first instance to bring matter and energy into experiential world. Now, that's not me saying this. This is them. This is evolutionary biologists, evolutionary psychologists, physicists giving lectures that this is where they're headed with their studies. And they're going to claim it's scientifically proven. So yeah, there's a lot of metaphysical implications with the nature of the earth and where we live and how reality functions. So yeah, let's say these entities exist, but these people who are globers, by the way, believe it. Then you have really good reasons to lie about the nature of reality.
I'm going to presume that you are obviously a religious person, right?
Define religious.
Yes. Yeah. Are you spiritual and religious person? Yeah.
Well,
And to what
I'll put it
extent,
to you this way.
and where in your sort of scripture does it say that the earth is flat?
I'll put it this way. So I subscribe to the Judeo-Christian paradigm outlined in the biblical scripture, right? Known as the Holy Bible, you know, or the let's you know what I'm saying. That one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, in that book, it says that a specific agent created everything. And that specific agent is eternal in itself. It needs nothing. We need it to sustain. It's the source, right? And it also says that there's an evil entity that works against that agent because that agent ceded the control of the earth to man, and then man forfeited that authority to the evil forces, right? So that explains the entire reason for deceptions in the world. Now, in the regards to what the shape of the earth, there's no passages in that book that describe the earth as being necessarily a sphere whatsoever. And there's like 200 passages which seem to indicate it's a flat plane, that it's not moving, that it definitely was created in place, not by a big bang necessarily, or these, you know, wandering creative forces, that it was actually specifically created by this agent. So I don't see any support of any necessity for a heliocentric Big Bang expanding cosmology model.
Okay. So then I'm trying to have a good faith conversation. I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything. I want to know then. So so I know a lot of very religious people, Catholics, all of like and the like. People that believe that the Earth is spherical and that the Earth is rotating around the
Fair
sun, and
point. Fair
the
point,
sun is
dude.
rotating
Fair
around the.
point. Okay, fair point. But I have to leave, so I won't be able to hear what you say because, you know, God
Okay.
also created women, and women, you know what they say, more bitches, more problems. So I gotta go.
Okay. I don't know the guy's name, but I think there was one dude that spent so much money like on like a device that he was so certain that would prove the Earth is a flat plane. Um, and I think he spent like $200,000 on this like device, and he actually he actually like
Gyroscope?
changed his mind. And
Gyroscope?
I don't know. I don't know. Like to me, it's a no-brainer. I'm just trying to understand how the fuck you people think.
What is your argument, or what are you saying? You said
I don't have an argument.
you said
I'm
something,
just
then you don't see.
inquiring. I'm asking.
Okay. I didn't really get what your point was. Someone spends something on something, and you don't get us. I don't understand.
Yeah, I
Could you?
should have like done my research and got the guy's name, but I know that there was like a
What
famous flat.
What was he
Yeah,
doing? What was the experiment?
I actually don't know, so
Okay.
I'll not. Yeah, I'll be quiet about that
You
because
probably
I
saw
actually
some
don't know.
videos about some people claiming from the mockumentary in Netflix, Beyond the Curve or something like that. You remember that? Maybe.
I don't watch Netflix.
Yeah, but exactly my point. So this what you're arguing for originally came from a mockumentary in Netflix, and you're arguing for it. It's a delusion that was put in Netflix, and now you're arguing for it, sir. So good job.
No, I didn't make an argument. I brought it up. I just
You
said
were
that.
giggling about this guy. You don't know something, but he disproved himself by spending this much money. That's what you did. So, yeah. The proposition that was put, it was if a drag of 15 degrees can be detected by a device, is detected by a device, therefore the air is a globe. So the device detected a 15-degree drag, therefore is a globe. That's the argument. But anyway, since you don't know about it, go find out and then build your argument around it. But remember, the origin of this is a mockumentary from Netflix. So you better consider those variables.
Okay, fair enough.
You see how false information can give you a perspective and you find it funny? Oh, this guy was arguing for something, but he debunked himself because someone in the internet said so from a mockumentary in Netflix. And in your position, you believe what you heard that someone argued, but you don't know the whole picture, but you're trying to make an argument out of this, which is pretty silly, bro. Let me tell you.
Fair enough. But I wasn't trying to make an argument. I just brought up something. Yeah. No, I'll do research on that definitely. Don't worry.
Let me tell you, I've spoken to that guy. He already passed away. Bob Nido. and they lied about him. In the mockumentary, they clip him saying things and then change the time that he said it and attached it to another thing. And they did that multiple times in the mockumentary. So creating an argument and a position that he wasn't making, but they said he made it. So consider that as well. You know when people are recorded saying some stuff, and then they grab that
Yeah,
recording
no,
and attach it to
no, for
something else.
sure. I'm not gonna argue with you about that, man. Like, you know more about it than me. I haven't seen the mockumentary or anything, so
You
I
brought
can't
it up. I'm giving
falsify.
you some light
Yeah,
about it. I'm
I
giving you
brought
some
it up.
light about it. I know this is not. I know this is not your argument. I know you just parroting what you heard in the internet. I know that for a fact because this is not the first time that someone have done this. But before you in the future, I'm just a recommendation. Before you do this ever again, try to get your facts together and then try to propose whatever you want to propose.
Okay.
Hey, who is Black Swan?
Who's what?
You said who's Black Swan? It's not a person.
Yes, what is that?
We've been talking about it with you in voice for the past 3 days.
Yes,
Oh, now there's
what's this?
What's the? Can you say what it is about? What are you trying to say? Do you have an argument about it or what? Hello? Guess your mic.
In this context, in this conversation, the black swan is referred to a modest. How do you say? Modest. My bad. I'm thinking.
I'm the black swan. I'm right here. What do you need?
A modus tollens, right? It's a logical argument. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. It's a logical argument, right? Modus tollens.
So you called, you rang, you asked for the black swan. I'm right here. You were looking for me? Looking, I'd grant wishes.
I'm gonna post the black swan for him as well.
Yeah, the black swan is here, sir. Go ahead and ask your questions to the black swan guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ask a question. Come on, shoot.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question. So do you guys believe that
Why do you start off with
are
believing first? Can you say, do you know it to be true or not? That would be a nice starting point, don't you think?
do you guys know it to be true or not that our sun is part of the Milky Way galaxy, that it is rotating around a supermassive black hole that occupies the center of our galaxy. And just as the Earth, Moon, planets rotate around our star, so does the star rotate around the supermassive black hole that is occupying the center of the Milky Way galaxy.
That's an astonishing claim. How do we go on about verifying everything you just said?
So think about it logically, right? You look to the sky, you see the luminaries, we can observe the sun, the moon, the so called planets, the wandering stars. The rotation of the lights, the stars, right? We can all observe this, can we? Yes, no? Yes, we can
Yeah.
observe this. And then some people make stories about how that is working, the distances, the makeup of those things in the sky. They make stories and they tell you some stories, and you choose to believe the stories or not to believe.
Do you believe that we can measure the speed of light?
Can you do it? Have you done it?
No, I have not done it. No, no, not personally.
The speed of
I'm
light
not
is
a physicist.
it's an agree upon average, right? It's like a
Yeah, about 300,000 meters per second.
yeah, that's an agree upon average or something like that, right? Like convention.
Yes.
So what about it?
Do flat earthers believe, and can they agree that there is a speed of light that is constant?
No, it's agreed upon. That means there's a bunch of different people that think different things, so they all agreed upon one number.
What do you mean by there's much people that
Yes, but
believe a different
they've done.
number? Yeah, as in, like, there's been small margins of error, so it's like on a degree of like, oh, there's like a 0.05% like level of error. Or are you talking about some people think it's, you know, what he's the statistic he said earlier, and some people think it's like, I don't know, the 10,000 miles per hour in like or
So
per second.
some people are gonna tell you the moon is 400,000 miles away, and since we can bounce lights to the moon and it takes this long to bounce and come back, therefore this is the speed of light,
That's
right?
not how they determine the speed of light. No.
Oh, so they have distances from where? From lights in the sky?
No. Let me go in real quick. I'll look up the tests. I don't have the.
There are a few, but yeah, one of them is a mirror actually on that they can bounce a laser off and measure that time. And we know that I think it takes approximately about 9 minutes for the sun's light to reach Earth.
So since you pre-assume the distance to the sun, I mean,
Wait a
and the
second.
size.
So somebody had to go to the sun, or yeah, one there. Go to the sun, shoot the light
Ah.
back to us. That measured said go. So we knew where both ends started on the clock. And then when it got here, they hit the end of the stop clock. That's interesting how that works.
No. I mean, they can do this in a laboratory with a laser as well, with mirrors and timers and things like that. Very sophisticated equipment. And then they come.
Yeah, and if you can get some results in the laboratory, that's perfect. But then you're gonna use this to say, therefore, we know the distance and the size of the sun to be this and this and that. That's what you're gonna argue for.
But the thing, this is the amazing part about it, is that they set up these experiments and then they test them again and again, and they make a larger experiments, and then they put a mirror on the moon, and
where?
a mirror on the moon, for example, where they
Oh
can
no.
reflect the speed of, and you know what, like those mathematical equations actually work out in the end. It adds it's consistent.
Yeah.
It's
Not gonna go along with that though. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. We're gonna put a mirror on the moon. We measured it. Now we know the moon.
it
Now we know
does
the
work like that
sun.
too. How the
Now we
fuck
know.
do you think we talking about with each other right now? How
So
does that work?
I could
I'm
give you
on.
a couple of like.
I have cable connection myself, so most likely through fiber optic somewhere.
Yeah, I'm in South Africa. I'm on the other goddamn side of the world.
So we're connected through undersea cables like everybody else.
Yeah. So how fast
What
does
does that have to do
my
with that?
connection get to you? How fast does
Fiber
my
optic?
bullshit
Fiber
words
optic. Fast as fiber
reach
optic.
your ear? Oh, fiber optic, and that's the speed of what?
Light.
Okay.
And
how can you measure that?
I don't measure it. You said you measure it.
No, I didn't say I measure it.
We can speak through the internet, therefore we live in a water bowl through the vacuum of space, and we know
Therefore,
everything
speed of
about the
light.
universe because we can speak through the internet. Good job, dude.
Therefore, speed of light.
So you guys have seen videos of people living on the ISS, the International Space Station, like
Well, I'd
floating
rather
around.
stay on topic than drift off too far, because as far as it goes for like measuring light, like there's a few different ways, and the mirror on the moon is not how we did it. Do you guys like? I've got a list of like the first few successful ones, and then as well as how we do it modern as well.
Yo, hit it. Tell us.
So the first successful measurement that we currently have recorded is by a guy named Olast Rollmer in 1676. He made his determinations from that the Earth, Sun, and Jupiter geometry. There would be a difference up to 1,000 seconds between predicted times of eclipses of Jupiter's moons. So basically, there was like he was noticing a delay between the positions of the moons, Jupiter, the shadows moving across Jupiter, and the positions that they were in by 1,000 seconds. And using the differences here, he was able to get an approximate of like 214,000, which is extraordinarily close to like the actual time, considering he had no idea at that time how far away these planets actually were. The second one that we have recorded is in 1728 by James Bradley. He made another observation by observing the stellar aberrations, being the apparent displacement of stars due to Earth's motion around the sun. So basically, like why some of the stars get like stretched out, or their transmissions are like color shifted and whatnot.
Yeah, redshift.
Okay, so that's the proof of the speed of light?
No. This is just how we go about observing it and came to finding out what its speed is.
Yes. Using it in the sky and looking at it's not going to give you the speed of light. Oh, there's Jupiter. It's 8,000 million seconds away. Fucking.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.